Sactown Sports.
Because we tested earlier, and there's a different setting. And Chris didn't like how it sounded. Does it sound any better?
No.
Sounds like I'm on the phone?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And the funny thing is that when I go into my settings here, which for absolutely no reason whatsoever have changed, it doesn't sound any different there either, right?
Sounds worse.
Okay. Hold on. Go ahead and bring us in here, Jason, would you please?
Sure, we'll do that. That sounds good. We'll bring us in.
Currently at 35,000 feet.
I mean, it's your captain speaking. Carmichael Dave is experiencing turbulence, but we will remain calm.
We no longer say turbulence. We see bumpy wind.
We do?
We do.
No, they don't, do they?
They say something that's not turbulence.
Some rough pockets? No. It's got to be kind, soft words, probably. Little discomfort.
I'm gonna guess this is no different.
No different.
No difference. Everything.
I would say you were at a 3 earlier. You're now at a 3.5.
Yeah, there's not that anybody cares, but there's a setting here. I know this sounds terrible. Sorry, guys. There's a setting here that allows me to go either Bluetooth or regular connection, and it's not giving me that second one. Here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to pop out. Hey now. And I'm just going to reset the computer, and I'm going to pop back in if that's okay with you. And I'll be right back. I'll be right back right after this. Okay.
After these messages, Dave will be right back. Okay. Well, here we go. What's next? Good morning. How's everybody doing today?
Getting worse.
Dave has been traded. No. Yeah, as you can imagine, we've got a lot to discuss today. And good morning. Hey, whoa, zoomed in. Here we are. Solo. Just me on the camera. Hi. Welcome in. Thank you to all of you already here this morning on YouTube. Wow. You got something to see and to watch and to hear? Well, we will be discussing a lot of things, De'Aaron Fox, certainly, and the Sacramento Kings with all the news that came out yesterday. And the impact of that, the impact of a meal, all of those kind of things. We will be discussing certainly throughout the show today. Just to let you know, guest-wise, from now until the finish of the show, we will visit with UC Davis basketball coach Jim Les, former King, current coach of the UC Davis Aggies. He will join us in about 45 minutes. And then at 9 o'clock, live from Philadelphia, Katie Christensen, Kings television analyst. I know what we'll be talking to her about. Oh, my gosh,
you're just lame.
Oh, Katie. I mean, what is this, like grammar school?
What is this, elementary school?
I guess it is. So we will visit with her not only about, there's a game tonight, but the game within the game. Obviously, there'll be a lot of discussion about what's going on and I'm kind of wording this as De'Aaron Fox's camp, and I'm doing air quotes because a lot of substance has been coming from Chris. I always say that Rich Paul, his agent, Clutch Sports. And then just where the Kings are with this, with the trade deadline now 8 days away, and preferred destinations, maybe not a long-term deal with Sacramento. All those kind of things are out there now. What's best for really the Kings should be Kings fans' priority. But look, there is a player on the other side here that Kings have and fans have become attached to, myself included. I love De'Aaron Fox. I would like him to stay. I guess that's still a possibility, but you have to weigh all possibilities right now, and one seems to be a little bit more pressing and nudged, and some desires have been thrown out there. And also the fact that this has become very public, I think, is something also we will discuss today. So, it's it's such an interesting thing that I would say, Chris, like by and large, this is the kind of stuff that makes having a show, a podcast, Sam writing about whoever, anybody that's doing this on a regular basis, newscast, like this is like audio clickbait, but we kind of crave stuff like this, but I'm not sure I'm craving this specific thing.
What's crazy, we went from at this exact time yesterday, we were saying, look at how good Fox was. Like, how could you even think about letting this guy go? Like, he is a key part of this team's success. And then right after its show, it seemed like,
boom,
hey, he's probably going.
Yeah. And so that's, we'll try to pick that apart today. Like, is it as imminent as imminent? Like, hey, could tonight be the last game Fox plays? Was last game the last game Fox plays? Or is there more to it? Is there, clever strategy from his agent to basically say, look, yeah, the Kings, you're still you're an option, but also, look, we've been telling you for a while, like, this team needs more. De'Aaron, from not signing the extension to Rich Paul coming out in December to Sacramento, basically kind of like, hey, guys, what are you doing? What is the plan? What is, like, this team is, I feel where they are now record-wise is they're not a bad team. They're not a great team. I think De'Aaron would like to be on a great team. Can it still be here? That's the question that maybe his agent is pushing for. And then if there is a desired location, yeah, we're hearing about San Antonio, maybe a few others.
That's the stuff that's the killer.
Yeah.
He wants to go here, so it basically undercuts any trade that you can make.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more difficult. Doesn't mean, and then even, Rich Paul also saying, well, even if it's not his preferred destination, meaning like they may be able still to get him there. Let's see. Let's try round 2 here with Dave.
It's 100% fine. It's good. It's
what
good
did you
because it's what I thought would be cool to try today. After I went through the checklist of everything, what I thought would be cool would be to take the plug from my computer into my little Roadcaster studio, whatever thingy I got going on here. I thought it would be cool to reverse them. And so I had the thing that was supposed to be plugged into my computer into my board, and then the thing that's supposed to be plugged into my board into my computer. And 100, usually it's not my fault, and I'm really nice about that. But when it is my fault, gotta take full responsibility.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
So with that being said, I have decided to request a trade. I am moving on, guys. It's just, I haven't requested.
We'll trade you for a case of Jaffe Cakes.
Ooh, a case. By the way, I got another pack of those. It's like the pack of 10 or whatever. I think there's one left, and I'm good on Jaffe Cakes, dude.
Those were the MVP last time.
They were 100% the MVP, but yuck. Yeah, not great, dude. I am 100% good. Good morning, everybody. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, this is neat. It's a great morning, isn't it? And I'm sure everybody will be nice and calm in the chat, and everyone's just going to take the news from yesterday and take it in stride, and everything will be fine and calm and no issues whatsoever, right? I mean, that makes sense. Right?
Are you speaking for yourself, or?
I mean, I'm here in New York. Nobody's not allowed to talk about this. I'm assuming it's the same way back in Sacramento. Everyone's like, oh, okay, well, another day in Sacramento. How's the weather? And,
I was telling Jason the best part about the ESPN hit they had, I saw just about 20 minutes ago, was, okay, but before we leave, now how does this affect the Golden State Warriors?
How does this affect LeBron's legacy? And yeah, normally this is good. This is a blah heavy section of the show, but we're just not even gonna try. Here's the thing. I guess we could just set this up, guys. Here's what we're gonna do today. We'll talk about the news that hit yesterday. We'll talk about how late last night De'Aaron Fox's wife got on social media and had some things to say. We'll talk about some of the things, the scuttlebutting that we're hearing. And by the way, the Kings play Philadelphia tonight in an actual basketball game in which De'Aaron Fox is expected to play. Katie's going to join us. By the way, I'll say this before she comes on too. Let me just say this to everybody early so that they understand. Jason, if you, again, show ocracy, not show tatership, I'm not bringing any of this up to her. She's not going to comment on it. It puts her in a stupid spot. She works for the team. I'm just going to be fully transparent to our audience. I see absolutely no benefit in asking Katie what she thinks of the De'Aaron Fox rumors. And if you disagree, we'll go with it. I know we're doing this on the air, but I just don't see anything coming out of that.
I actually disagree.
Okay. Well, then you will. Hey, that's fair. Ask her. Honestly.
I mean, I'm not going to say, hey, do you think Fox is getting, I mean, people ask us, like, people can ask us, and, you know, we're not in these rooms. He could be traded in 10 minutes. He could be, he may never get traded. But I mean, it's got to be a weird vibe there.
Maybe
I can ask her about that.
Yeah, maybe ask her, or just take it easy on her and just say, hey, who is he getting traded for? And is he a distraction in the locker room? And how long have you been waiting for this to happen?
Yeah, and when will it? Yeah, give us the exact time and date.
All right, so we'll do that. Is that it? I don't we have somebody else on too?
Yeah, Jim Les.
Jim Les coming up shortly. My goodness gracious. Well, it's I want to get right to it, so we'll take a very quick break, and when we come back, we got leading off a much shorter edition, if you will, of leading off, because we got a lot to get to. So we'll step aside. We'll be right back right after this.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's going on, Chad, for the Start Something New sales event?
We're going all out with the most savings I've seen on new Ram heavy duties in a long time. Right now, you can save up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 2500 Rebel Crew Cabs.
$16,000 off MSRP on heavy duties? That doesn't happen often.
That's why we've been California's #1 Ram truck dealer year after year. Some call themselves the Super Ram Truck Center, but when you need a hard-to-find Ram heavy duty, Hoblet has it with over 400 new Ram trucks available.
See their full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$16,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 Rebel after $6,500 factory rebates and $9,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include $3,000 Hoblet Select coupons while supplies last. $500 on the job upfit. Must show business and upfit docs. And up to $2,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance for 2005 or newer and 160,000 mile or less vehicle. While supplies last. Not everyone will qualify for all rebates. To with this net savings. VINs 1-866-247-186-248. See dealer for details.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
This just came in to me just now. The Sacramento Kings have decided to open up on a potential trade of De'Aaron Fox ahead of the February 6th NBA trade deadline. They are now open to listening and potentially moving De'Aaron Fox ahead of the deadline. And he has 1 year after this season remaining on his deal. And there will be plenty of suitors for De'Aaron Fox ahead of free agency in 2026. But I'm told that Fox and his representation, Rich Paul of Clutch Sports, have a destination in mind that they want to go to in this trade situation. When we find out where that is, we will inform the audience. But that is something that now just, I don't know, we've been talking about Jimmy Butler for the last several weeks. De'Aaron Fox is a premier player in his prime who is just only ascending from here. This is a massive new domino into the NBA landscape. He has the ability to change the complexion of any team he arrives to. One thing I can say with Rich Paul, we know he's got LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the Lakers. I'm told the Lakers are not part of that destination of choice for De'Aaron Fox potentially, but he is now potentially entering the NBA's trade market.
Well, that is Shams Charania finding out live that the
Well, I don't even, the Kings are now open to offers for De'Aaron Fox, and that doesn't mean the trade is imminent. That doesn't mean a trade is coming. Could mean a trade's already done. Who knows? What we're going to do a lot of today, in addition to just going over what's already been talked about, is we're going to go over the timeline of this. We're going to go over what led to this. And I don't know, but I think by the end of the day, there are some in our chat and some people that listen to the show that will understand a little bit more why I have been a little more sensitive than usual when it comes to the De'Aaron Fox talk. And I'll give you a spoiler alert, Jason. I don't blame De'Aaron Fox one bit for this. The focus I have is directly on the Sacramento Kings and their front office and the fact that they made this bed and we have to lie in it. And yes, I am wearing my Monty vest. I love Monty as a person, but I'm going to also do my job. Doesn't matter if I like somebody. You got to call balls and strikes. And that front office, as of right now, has bungled this thing from start to finish. And it may end up resulting in a player that doesn't want to leave, leaving.
So I'm sure we'll get into more of the layers of there, but I'd be curious to more depth onto that response of what you just said about the front office bungling it.
And we'll get to that.
Okay.
I'm happy to go through that. As a matter of fact, let me just check here because we were writing this up earlier. Yep, that's right. Next segment, and we'll kind of repeat the whole thing. And I'll walk you through what and here's another thing I want to be careful of too. There's a lot of conjecture out there. There's a lot of things flying around. I'm going to talk about what I know and not so, and maybe we'll of course mention stuff that's flying around there that may in fact be true, by the way, but I'm not incredibly happy with I'm not incredibly happy with the team right now. And this is we're going to talk about Mike Brown. We're going to talk about media boycotts. We're going to talk about trades. I'm going to connect them to tweets of mine from about a week ago, little breadcrumbs I've been leaving. And now we need to start disseminating it a little bit because this it did not have to be this way. And it is, and it's a mess. And it may end up, by the way, Jason, they may trade him and it may end up being great. And 3 years from now, we have a parade and go, oh my God, thank goodness. Like, the one thing I want to be very clear to everybody here is nobody knows.
Right.
Nobody knows anything. I don't, Jason, you don't, the fans don't, Monty and Wes don't, De'Aaron, we have no idea. And what I mean by that is that they could walk this whole thing back and he could be here and everything could be hunky-dory. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm saying that could happen. They could trade him and it could be a disaster and send the Kings into the spiral of playoff anonymity for another 16 years. They could make a trade and they could end up acquiring not only players, but maybe a pick or two that turn into a superstar and they win a championship. And this is the big Monte Ellis moment for nobody knows what's going to happen, but we can make educated guesses.
Right. And that's why it's the puzzle. I mean, I think, again, the curiosity for me is how it became so public before the deadline. I think a lot of people, and we've been talking about it, look, preferences, I wouldn't go down this road, but if possible, maybe you explore it in the off season and, open it up to all the teams. If this is an area where in the end you think he's not going to be here, you got to get something for him. But the fact that now it's public, it's much more seemingly fast track. Doesn't mean you have to do it by next week, but wow, it's changed course here pretty dramatically.
All right, a shortened leading off. We've only got one other, which is there's actual basketball tonight. Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
Lowry's inbounds pass stolen by DeRozan. He's immediately fouled. Talk about the defense rising to the occasion. Now we're going to hear light the beam chants, I'm sure, at any moment.
Kings Philly. tonight. Honestly, I don't expect there to be any drama. It's going to be business as usual, I would imagine. I'm sure Fox will play. I mean, again, unless he's traded by game time, but I'm sure Fox will play. I'm sure that, we can't speak to what if it's a distraction on the team bus or in the locker room, but honestly, generally it's not. They will do their thing and they'll play tonight, and we'll see what happens, because they got a road trip they gotta win some games on.
Yeah, I mean, and also, like, let's just even go to some of the reporting that's out there that, even after some of this came out, that, dozens of teams have already reached out to the Kings. Well, in one sense, that's certainly exciting for the front office that, you've got a player in his prime that's being coveted, but you also go like, all right, that's with a few hours of this being public. Now, I know agents and teams can talk more internally, but this is definitely something public. What's an offer today? What's an offer tomorrow? What's an offer after the deadline? I mean, there's lots of things for everybody involved in this to weigh in, and I just don't know how it can't be a distraction for the team and for Fox.
Well, I hope it's not a distraction on the floor. I think everyone's going to probably go about their business, but times there's certainly a lot in the news right now, Jason.
Yes.
And I imagine people are on the phone with their agents and talking amongst themselves. But ultimately, a lot of this is out of their control. I mean, with the exception of De'Aaron Fox and his agent, a lot of these folks don't have control over everything, and they got a job to do. They got to beat Philadelphia tonight. And Philly doesn't care if there's De'Aaron Fox rumors.
No, not at all. I mean, in Sacramento, we had a target. If we're talking about just the team and the games, 3-3 as a road trip, still possible after losing the first two, winning the last one. But it rolls on. You trade a player, you fire a coach, the next game happens, and then the one after. I mean, it's just, this is going to continue with or without Fox. And so, yeah, they've got a season still to try to attack. And the first one in front of them is Philly, who looked pretty darn good last night, beating up on the Lakers.
Yeah, they did. And they're going to be ready tonight. Although second night of a back-to-back, a small advantage for Sacramento, but hey, you got to play the game. And the last thing, the only thing that could make this situation worse, Jason, is to have a team that's 11-4 since Doug Christie took over, and now them to go into a funk because they're people too. And now all of a sudden, the biggest constant on the team is possibly moving along. So we shall see. All right, we'll take a break. I know we're about a minute early, but trust me, we'll fill the next segment. And besides, isn't it cool to break early? When we come back, De'Aaron Fox and the trade request, if that's what you want to call it, or advancement, or whatever it is. Let's break down what it is and it isn't, and start to get into what got us here. And we'll do all that right after this.
Tonight, Kings and 76ers. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3. Tip-off at 4:30. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings is Sactown Sports 1140.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, reminding you that every deal at Folsom Lake Ford is a slam dunk. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, including America's best-selling truck for over 47 years, Ford F-Series, plus a huge selection of Broncos, Bronco Sports, and all of Ford's award-winning SUVs at FolsomLakeFord.com. Listen, I know a great play when I see one, and if you want to save on a new Ford, you gotta drive the lane straight to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with 0 down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest financing, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. So hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they're my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop them online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. SubcontractorsUnited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator, roll with the sausage breakfast burrito, buddy it up with a honey buddy, or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes, and then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is what makes us different from other law firms. At Gingery Hammer and Associates, we handle your case from beginning to end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether we need to file suit, or even take it all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to you and your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
You know, when it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer, and that's especially true when it comes to your garage door. And that's why I recommend National Garage Door, 638-4554. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. Whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE. It's Broken Spring experts. Styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of, and that's not good. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're getting a new garage door. We're pretty happy about that. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 638-4554, National Garage Door.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
All right, you're home to the Kings, Sactown Sports. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, on a day where Kings Nation is gripping, as the kids say, over what's going on and isn't going on with De'Aaron Fox and the franchise. And I know you guys want answers. And look, we'll do our best. There's a lot flying around out there. And some of this stuff is coming across pretty quick and did last night. Some of it may come across during the show, and we'll do our best to keep you up to date and disseminate it all. Jason, I thought we might start with I wanted to try to piece together a timeline on all of this. And I'll really take this back because I think this matters to last year. And you'll remember De'Aaron didn't talk to the media for a couple of weeks. You remember they called it a media boycott. He just didn't talk to the media for a while. There was a lot of rumor and innuendo as to why, and it was kind of kept quiet by everybody, really, because it was really an internal thing. There was a stretch where the Kings were losing games, and I think at one point I don't know who it was. It might have been Keon Ellis that came out and was addressing the media, and De'Aaron wasn't at the podium. And somebody, I honestly, it might have been Matt George, but I don't want to slander him. I honestly don't know who it was. And by the way, if it was Matt, nothing wrong with this. Said like, well, where are the stars? Where are Fox? Where's Sabonis? Where's De'Aaron Fox after a loss like this? You remember all this happening?
Of course.
Okay. Well, the reason De'Aaron boycotted the media, if you will, had nothing to do with the media. It had to do with he was upset internally that he felt the franchise kind of hung him out to dry because he wasn't asked to go to the podium. He wasn't asked to do that. And there was no explanation given to the media, really off record, whatever, to kind of help in that situation, saying, hey, no, De'Aaron's not ducking anybody. He wasn't asked. They asked Keon. They didn't put him up there. And he felt a certain way about that and said, okay, well, I'm good for a minute, because I'm out there and I'm hearing and reading some things. And, his wife's active on social media. He's got agents and people and himself. And he felt a certain sort of way about that. So let's just leave that aside. He came back. He's fine, media, all that stuff. So they trade Tyrese Halliburton way before that for Domantas Sabonis, and things are going well, and they play the Warriors and they take them to 7 games, and then they take a step back. And, there had been rumors and talk for a while, which is fairly normal with stars around franchises, that, hey, we want more. The only difference here is that, unlike in LA with LeBron or Giannis or Jimmy Butler or whomever, it is you heard De'Aaron Fox referred to as a gentleman a few times, and that's why, because he was handling it what we would say would be the right way behind the scenes. Like, hey guys, we need more. And in the
also,
offseason,
it should be said that in past seasons with De'Aaron Fox, as terrible as the Kings were, he was one of the guys that was most called upon to go out and talk to the media.
Yeah, and I think some people would be like, well, why didn't he just go out and talk to the media? They don't control that. Who is available, who is made available to the media is controlled by the team and generally. And
usually it's 2 players and a coach after the game, usually.
100%. Yeah. So this wasn't about the media or the fans or anything like that. Quite the contrary. This was, guys, you kind of screwed me here. You come into the season and you added DeMar DeRozan. Okay. That's good. And Fox was a big part, you'll remember, of recruiting DeMar DeRozan. He was in the meetings. He was sitting next to him. He was actively out there recruiting talent to Sacramento. And DeRozan was the guy. They drafted Devin Carter, who was a guard on a guard-heavy team. So then it leaks out that Rich Paul gets involved. And let's remember, Rich Paul didn't say do this, or you know what? I skipped something. I'm sorry. The Kings offer him the max contract, and De'Aaron Fox turns it down for 2 reasons. Number one, why sign it now? If I make the All-NBA next year, which I plan on hopefully doing, I'm going to try my best. I can sign a supermax contract for quite a bit more money. We covered this when that happened. Hey, not a big deal. This is completely understandable. There's no incentive other than worrying about a career-ending injury, but there's no incentive for him to sign for $50, $60, $70 million less, whatever it is, when if he makes All-NBA this year, that he could sign for more. So let's hold off. That's one reason. The second reason was, guys, the next contract I sign is going to be, 5-year deal. And I'm 27 years old. That's going to take me through all of my prime. I want to win a championship. I want to win a championship here. This is where my family is, but we need help. So I want to see what the direction and stability of this team is, because we just went from on the up, a 7-round playoff series with the Warriors, or 7-game playoff series with the Warriors, to a 2-game play-in postseason, and we're out. That's a step back. So Rich Paul, who's saying, guys, there's a couple of issues with the Supermax. One is, or the contract. One's the Supermax and waiting for that. But second is, we got to see something. It's the same thing that, this is what we've been talking about. It's the same thing the fans have been saying. We need more. It's imbalanced. Need more help. Okay. Then we get into Mike Brown. And Mike Brown is fired. And that's fine. And we covered this at length. And you saw when I got back from vacation how pissed I was. And part of that reason was it wasn't just about no Monty, no Vivek, nobody from the organization standing out there and answering questions. It was about, once again, the franchise left the players out to be PR and answer those questions when they had no control and no business over it, to the point where the media, some of the media, I should be fair, was like, did Fox have something to do with this? Was Fox the guy behind this? And that pissed him off. And I don't blame him for that. Like, guys, can you have my back here? I had nothing to do with this. You see the same stuff I do. Can somebody get out there and explain what's going on and make it so it doesn't seem like I'm pushing Mike Brown out, who, by the way, I have a very good relationship with? And then you saw that picture when they went to dinner. That was not just randomly leaked, and the whole handling of it in general. This is all going on the ledger now. Doug takes over. They're winning. Fox, what they didn't plan on was the injuries. And here's where it gets a little silly. It's not just the inactivity, but it's the disorganization within the front office and the weird communication. If you go on Twitter and you go back into my timeline, you'll see 4 days ago, I said, the John Collins talks are heating up. I didn't randomly just tweet that, guys. I didn't go, oh, you know what? The John Collins talks are heating up, I think. Let me tweet that. I said the John Collins talks are heating up because there were people in the organization who will remain nameless that said a John Collins deal was imminent. Was not a possibility, was imminent. So much to the point that a member of the organization told some players that John Collins was imminent. John Collins didn't happen. Okay. Put that on the ledger. So you have inactivity, and now you have, people are getting excited, but also who's getting traded? Who is it? Who's going where? This messes with the team. And then what I am told really started the spiral is that De'Aaron Fox and his agent were presented. The Kings were approached, and I don't know anything about who it was, but the Kings were approached with an offer for De'Aaron Fox from another team. And they went to Fox's agent, whatever channels, and said, hey, we're not necessarily looking to trade you, but we just got this offer. What do you think? And that was kind of the crack in the ice that dislodged the iceberg, where it's like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. Enter Rich Paul again. Guys, if you're going to make a move, probably make the move sooner rather than later, because this is becoming untenable and his value is only going to decrease. In a sense, he wants what he wants, but also we want to go to a preferred destination. We also want to do right by the organization and by the city. And the saddest thing out of all of this is that it was probably, like I said, we don't know anything, but it was probably avoidable, Jason, and what started with the star player saying, guys, I want to be here. I need to pause and see if I'm going to make all NBA. Oh, and I'm sorry. The other thing that kind of kicked the iceberg through is they've kind of come to the conclusion over the last couple of weeks he's not making all NBA this year.
Right.
So that's off the table. And that you can kind of just put that again on the ledger. So you have your star player, one of your two star players saying, we need help. We got to have help. You're not doing anything. You're not making any moves. You're not improving this team. DeMar was great. We need more. We can't just languish here. You're telling me one thing, you're doing another, or more importantly, not doing another. And why do I want to stay in this chaos? You're not showing me the things I need to see to believe that I would be signing with a stable franchise, not just now, but in the future. And oh, by the way, I'm worried that there's more to come down the road. And I don't want to commit to this long term. So maybe it's best we part ways. And that's about what your timeline is that leads us up to today, and why his wife is able to go on social media and say he didn't request, he hasn't requested,
Right.
he still has not requested a trade.
Well,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm saying if, and I know some will see, and understandably so, that it's semantics or it's parsing, but they haven't requested a trade. They've requested that the team show that it's stable and improving if he's going to attach his prime to this team rather than another one that is stable and going to contend for a title. And between the little things off the court, which are probably negligible, the Mike Brown thing, but most importantly, the lack of movement, the lack of improving the team, they're like, okay, well, look, we're still not requesting the trade. We're under contract for another year, but if you're going to do something, you really should probably do it soon.
Yeah, and that's the other part of it. Like, look, I don't know where they are truly internally. Like, if it is at the point of no return, I know his agent's like saying, hey, it's probably better off to do this sooner than later, and that's fine. That's, let the agent take those hits if that's true. But, and I'm not saying it's not, but the other part that reading all that stuff that you're saying, I think there's been a desire that De'Aaron has shown before that he does like it here, has liked it here. I think in a perfect world, this is my gut on De'Aaron, has always been he would like it to work here if it was at all possible. Now, if it's at the point of no return, then it's at the point of no return. But it also then begs, if that's the biggest issue of all of it, there is still time to fix that in the front office. But what, you've got a few days. And is that, like we said earlier, Dave, like we really don't know if they traded Fox, it was the best move or the worst move. If they make whatever deal, is that going to be enough to move the needle and keep that group happy enough to want to stay?
Well, we got a lot more to talk about, but we do have to pause for a break. That's why we broke a little bit earlier. When we come back, we're going to take a quick moment. We're going to catch up as we do each and every Wednesday with UC Davis basketball coach Jim Les. And by the way, we'll talk to him, not just about UC Davis basketball, but as always, he's an ex-NBA player. He's an ex-Sacramento King. We'll talk to him about distractions, trades, how things were different then as opposed to now. And then don't worry, you'll get your Fox fix. There's a lot of we just put out there. Let's digest that for a second, and then let's get back to it at the top of the hour when we look at not just where, but potential deals. Why I have a really hard time seeing them doing a deal with San Antonio, which is rumored to be his destination, and I believe that is accurate. We got a lot to go over, so we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Jim Les next.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sactown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Here's a resolution that's easy to keep. Grab the keys to a new Toyota truck and make every day an adventure. Get a low-cost lease on the iconic Tacoma, or get 1.99% APR or $2,000 cash back on the powerful Tundra. Every new Toyota includes Toyota Care, 2 years of complimentary scheduled maintenance. resolved to live it up this year in a new Toyota truck. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit at 2-325.
My good friends over at Jiffy Lube have an amazing New Year oil change special going on right now for the month of January. Get a full synthetic oil change starting at just $76.99 with a $33 off coupon online. That's right, starting at just $76.99 for a full synthetic motor oil change with a $33 off online coupon from jiffylube.com today. Offer valid for up to 5 quarts of premium motor oil, specialty vehicles, and diesel extra. Happy New Year from Jiffy Lube.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Hey, movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is now serving adult beverages. This week, get ready for Companion, the IMAX experience.
There have been 2 moments in my life when I was happiest. The first was the day I met Josh, and the second, the day I killed him.
The best place to experience this psychological thriller is on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen with heart-pounding audio that will keep you on the edge of your seat.
The days of you controlling me are over.
Get your tickets early at IMAX.com/Sacramento. And don't miss Companion, playing this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
That just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
All right, are we good?
We are good.
Joining us right now, former Sacramento King. I say that. He's always a Sacramento King. You're a King for life. Come on. The head coach of UC Davis basketball is heard right here on Sactown Sports, Mr. Jim West. Coach, good morning. It's Dave. It's Jason. How are you?
Good morning, man. Are you good?
Not certain.
Have you requested a trade today, Coach? Because I can't take that if that happens.
I have not, or never have requested a trade. I requested a number of times not to get released, but it never worked.
Yeah,
I think it begs to differ when you go look back, because wasn't the reason we didn't take Doncic is because we already had a guard.
Yes,
and I think the old theory and philosophy of take the best player available, take the talent, and then figure it out. So I think when you hear about this news, you start looking back at, the past and the draft and maybe do things differently, which is always hindsight's always 20/20, but talent overrides, especially at that level.
Is that how you coach, or is that how you recruit, Coach, as well? When let's say you've got a glut of guards and you know that Fred Smith and John Johnson are going to get the bulk of the minutes, and you've got 2 guys behind them, but oh my goodness gracious, you've got this other dude. Are you always recruiting the best player available, and how much does your roster makeup going in factor in, if at all?
Yeah, it factors some, but I'm in that camp, and I think you trust your coaches or your coaching ability to adjust. And hey, we're going to have to change how we play because we're going to play small. But I'm getting the 4 most talented guys on the floor. With a big, and we're going to play 4 around 1. So we've changed our style. A lot of times year in and year out, even coming off a successful year, because of the makeup of our team and going to try and be as, talented as possible. Now, we have an outlier with our academics and some of the filters that some of our guys have to achieve in order to get admitted into UC Davis. And that too presents to me what I think is a really nice challenge, because you can't set out year over year and say, hey, we're just going to seek and go get this type of player, because that profile might not fit. So now we got to say, okay, we're going to go get the most talented guys we can get that fit that profile, and then adjust our style.
Talking with Coach Jim Les of the UC Davis Aggies, obviously a former King. Coach, want to take you back to your playing days on whichever team you were on during your pro career in a situation like this, where a franchise piece, a key player, all these things are swirling around now, and the Kings play tonight. They play on Saturday. They have this road trip. De'Aaron could be a King. He could be like that part of it is a little different in this day and age, but it still existed when you played. Like the noise that's out there, how much of a distraction is that for everyone that's on the road tonight in Philly for the Kings?
No, it's a distraction. It clearly is. And, I think, as fans or people removed, you think, hey, just go play. And what does it matter? And, nothing's happened yet. And, there's kind of a robotic request of just, do what you have to do and do your job. But it has a trickle-down effect throughout the team and the culture of the team, and, the perception of what we're not good enough, or, you don't like your teammates now, and there's this request for a trade. So it's there's dynamics there that carry some weight. But I will say, not sure there's anybody better than Doug to help navigate that. Having a guy who's been through it, who's been traded, who's been on teams, and now is the leader. And I'm guessing, and my faith in him is that he's going to pull the right emotional chords and get the right triggers going with the guys to get them ready to play. But it's a factor, no doubt. And I'm guessing they're spending more time on that than X's and O's going into the game tonight.
Well, let's talk about a team that doesn't have chaos or dysfunction or trade requests. Let's talk about a team that's 1-4 or 5.
Well, you tell us.
That is true. Let's talk about a team that took out Cal Poly and UCSB on the road, beat Hawaii in a phenomenal game by 2, and then has hated UC Riverside. Can't stand them coming up on the 31st. Coach, you're on a good run right now. It must feel good. I know it's been an up and down season.
Well, the defense, and we've talked about that's kind of our calling card, and the consistency of our defensive effort has been showing up, and that's been a big key for us. So we're really proud of the guys of answering the bell, and it's getting them to do the dirty work, and it's not always recognized, but the defensive pressure and the defensive presence and the togetherness on that floor and the aggressiveness has really been, something to see. And like right now, we're the second best defensive team in our league. The first best is Irvine, who's leading the league, and that's traditionally what's happened. So we got to stay on that path, and hopefully the defense travels down south when we head to Riverside and Irvine this weekend. 2 big challenges for us, but excited for this group and how they've kind of transformed themselves into thinking, hey, we're going to outscore people, we're going to play fast, to hey, we are going to defend and make people's lives miserable when they come to UCU or when we head out on the road.
Coach, you've told us before, like the goal is obviously to get better kind of monthly. You start the journey, you kind of learning your team, you just want to get better and better, and hopefully peaking by March. We've almost wrapped up another month here of January. You feel like you're hitting some of those goals of, noticeable, tangible team improvement as you've rolled through this season. Yeah.
And I think that, Jason, the integrity of your practices as the season goes on is so important. It's easy once you start playing games, practices aren't important and we're focused on the game. But this group, and I'm a a quality over quantity guy, so we're not going real long, but we want the intensity and physicality and concentration to be at a high level, so we're continuing to get better, because I think the teams that stall out in January or February are the teams that kind of lost focus of the importance of practice. So we're trying to harp that as a staff and make our practices creative and fun, yet intense and competitive, so guys continue to get better.
It's the start of a 4-game road trip this Friday or Thursday, I believe. 7 o'clock, as heard right here on Sactown Sports. Coach, my wife was born and raised in Riverside, and it has been 18 years of nagging and pick up your socks and feed the baby and pay for the college and all that. And I blame the city. So do me a favor. I would often tell Coach Plow this when he would be playing a team I hated. Take care of business. And if you need motivation for the team, I'm happy to provide it.
Well, I appreciate that. And then in honor of your wife, and speaking of Coach Plow, I figure by January the guys are sick of hearing of me, so we're bringing in the southpaw from the bullpen today for a little get on the plane, pick me up talk. So we'll put this on Coach Plow to produce for your game, for our game against the UC Riverside.
Nice.
I love it. Bringing a little Shredville to the basketball team. Love it. Coach Les, you're the best. We appreciate your time each and every week. Good luck on the road, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. That is Coach Jim Les. We are way late for a break. When we come back to the Fox Talk, which will dominate this show. Don't forget Katie Christensen will join us at 9 a.m. 4 Down Territory at 8:30, and that's about it. 4 Down Territory when it comes to anything but Fox or Kings Talk. So you're in the right place. Sit back, relax. The rumors, where he wants to go, and what could that deal look like, and why it doesn't really make sense. We'll get into all that next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hey, we all know that this time of year can be tough because of the elements. It has been brutally cold overnight, certainly in the morning, and we know that winter can be tough on your garage doors. It always has been and can be and will be continuing to go through those situations. So you want to know if yours are ready to handle the cold. Well, you don't want to wait for your garage door to break down on one of those chilly evenings or chilly mornings and you're stuck. So this February, Overhead Door Company of Sacramento is offering their Sweetheart Special, $150 off a garage door with the purchase of a garage door opener. So don't let the winter slow you down. Visit overheaddoorofsacramento.com for your free estimate. And what you'll do when you're working with them is you're working with a proven company. They've been titans of the industry for 70 plus years, serving our area around Sacramento, 9 different counties. And when you work with Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, you're connected with that family-owned and operated company that has been, like I said, thriving in our area for a long, long time. And whether you need new doors, repairs to your existing doors, commercial, residential, whatever it may be, Overhead Door Company of Sacramento is here to help. Check out their showroom. They're off Franklin Boulevard, but you can also see them in person out in the wild. Join them this Friday to Sunday at Cal Expo for the 2025 Northern California Home Show. You can see and learn much more about them and all their great work. Again, you can call them at 916-421-3747. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original Overhead Door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Lowe's knows how to help make your Super Bowl 59 party a touchdown. Let us help you prep your home to host with top brands like Charbroil, Blackstone, and LG, so you can be the MVP of game day. Plus, use the Lowe's app to find what you need for a seamless shopping run. Or huddle up with our Lowe's Red Vest associates to help make all your game time hosting decisions. To my city by the bay. NBA All-Star. Get ready for a show. Are you ready to take? When I come home, Stephen Curry is a 50. Let's get it on TNT.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for the Start Something New sales event?
Right now, you can lease a new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4x8 plug-in for as low as $319 a month for 42 months with $39.95 due at signing. Plus, with 56 MPGE, you'll save thousands at the pump.
And in one of America's favorite SUVs.
Exactly. And that's not it. Not only do we have great deals on new Jeeps, but the Hoblet Family Dealers is growing with a huge selection of used cars at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter with over 200 used vehicles available and 40 under $20,000.
Get the new Jeep your family needs. It's waiting at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
Lease a $319 for 42 months before tax and license. Must be California resident for rebates, including $7,500 SFS hybrid electric federal tax credit and $2,500 West SFS lease cash. Must finance through Stellantis. $39.95 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year. 30 cents per mile over. Tax and license extra. 5 of this net savings. Sample MSRP 62,225. VIN 681180. See dealer for details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-990-1551. That's 800-990-1551.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports, 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Man, that flew by. That hour. Welcome in. 3 more to go. Alan Stiles will take the baton. You know, Jason, I have a confession. People ask me every once in a while, as I do the show now from New York and flying back and forth across the pond, say, why are you doing the soccer stuff, man? You got a job. You know why I'm doing the soccer stuff, really? Is because I think at some point, I think the way to solve our issues, I'm just going to put an ownership group together at some point, make a Godfather offer to Vivek and just run the team. I don't see any other way. Just going to buy the team.
You are?
Well, I don't have the money.
No.
But I'm going to convince rich people to buy the team. Just put a big big group together. Everybody will have their own song when they make a basket. We'll have
Will Chris and I have a role?
Yeah, of course. Of course. You guys are going to do mornings. Be our partner for life. Sign a lifetime contract with Sactown Sports.
I would like to be the official troll of the Sacramento Kings.
It's fine. We'll just and then we'll just win championships, right? Let's just win championships. That's my goal. My goal as the managing partner of the Sacramento Kings would be to win championships, and that's just what we would do.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Right? Come on. When Monty McNair took over the club, the starting lineup was De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Terrence Davis, Harrison Barnes, and Rashawn Holmes. The current starting lineup is De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, DeMar DeRozan, Domantas Sabonis. I think when you take a step back and you look objectively at the state of the Sacramento Kings now compared when Monty and that front office took over, and I'm saying this because I'm going to be hard on them today, and I have been, but I don't think there's any denying that the team is in a better spot now than they were when he took over. And there's an opportunity, perhaps here, if you want to call it an opportunity. There's an opportunity to change the face of the club even more, which is why you're not going to hear me say Monty McNair is a bad GM, because I don't think he is. And I know that's not a popular thing to say right now. And when you look at these latest developments, it sounds like, and when you read them, it's the Kings are now have now signaled they are listening to offers for De'Aaron Fox, with the idea of perhaps moving him by the trade deadline. And when informed of that, Fox's camp said, okay, well, we've got a preferred destination. And that preferred destination, by all accounts, is San Antonio.
Yeah. And by the way, too, I thought one of the weird things that came out was Rich Paul even said he will be taking calls. I'm like, well, you're the agent. I mean, that's
right.
That's fine. Sure, you can, but
right.
This is still a King's decision as well.
Yeah, it is. And I think we should, I think that's a great point. I think we should provide clarity on that too, because you're right. It is. The Kings can trade De'Aaron Fox. He doesn't have a no trade contract, a clause. They can trade De'Aaron Fox wherever they want, but this is also the modern day NBA. And here's exactly how that goes. And I'm just literally making up a scenario here. Don't read anything into it, please. The Boston Celtics call and say, we'll trade you Jaylen Brown and Peyton Pritchard for De'Aaron Fox and Kevin Huerter. Hey, let's go. Great deal. Brad Stevens with the Celtics, or any GM in the league, before they consummate a deal, is going to call. They're going to call Rich Paul. They're going to call Fox's camp and say, we want to trade for De'Aaron. He's got one more year left on his deal. What we give up is going to be highly based on whether or not we can re-sign him. What are the chances? And if Rich Paul says to them, guys, I'm telling you right now, there is no way he's re-signing there. You can trade for him and he'll play his butt off for you. He's not signing a contract there. He's got 1, 2, 3 locations he wants to go to that we're comfortable with him being at. Those guys want them too. So you can just, whatever you trade for him, just please realize that it's a 1.5 year rental. That's if they trade him at the deadline. Well, that's going to affect the value of the trade offered for De'Aaron Fox. And that team is going to go back to Monty and Wes and say, okay, we'll give you Peyton Pritchard and a pick. And Monty and Wes are going to say, yeah, that's not the deal we had. Well, sorry, this is no longer, we're not buying, we're leasing. And in that sense, yes, by letter of the law, the Sacramento Kings can trade De'Aaron Fox wherever they want to trade him to. But in reality, Rich Paul is the most powerful player in this whole deal, other than De'Aaron Fox.
Right.
He controls this. And if we look at San Antonio, Jason, here's the problem. Remember, you have to work money in, all kinds of stuff. And De'Aaron Fox is making $35 million this year. That's a sizable chunk of money. So you look over at the roster of the Spurs. Now, look, if the Spurs want to throw us Victor Wembanyama, I take everything back that I'd listen. I would answer the phone, but I don't think the Spurs are going to do that. So let's move on. I think we can also probably rule out Harrison Barnes. Maybe not. Just saying. Stephon Castle is a guy whose name has been thrown around, and for good reason. Devin Vassell, Florida State, thrown around. Keldon Johnson. But when you look at their roster, Castle's a guard. Vassell's a 2-3. Johnson's a 3. And what you'd be doing, in a sense, I mean, Keldon Johnson's 6'5".
Yeah, but they play like forward, but still, yeah, you're right.
Right. Vassell's 6'5". And Castle ain't playing, Stephon Castle's not playing. My point is that they want to use, ultimately, you would think, if they're going to move De'Aaron Fox, they want to use it to augment their front court. Now, you could always open this up to 3-team deals.
Sure.
But the problem there is, we can't talk about that. It's hard for me to see a fair and equitable trade that would make sense for the Kings without further putting the weight on that backcourt. They're not unless you want Zach Collins, that's not going to work. So I don't know how it's going to work with San Antonio. I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
I was going to say that's the one thing that. This again, I'm intrigued by this becoming so public here yesterday, because it gives a really short timeline to get a deal done by the trade deadline. If that's in fact the way this goes down, doesn't mean it can't be done, but this is a significant type of move if the Kings go down this road. And so when you kind of get it to one team, like you just laid out, Dave, there are some restrictions with San Antonio that make it probably, in my opinion, less appealing for the Kings. Still possible, but less appealing. And if you're the Kings, also, I wonder if they are truly going to do this, what their kind of vision is just as a security blanket. So let's just say, like, we're in the meeting, we go, okay, here's the target you want in return. Generally, when you're dealing an all-star type player like De'Aaron, you want one back in return. Well, what you just laid out is not the case. So then what? Okay, maybe expirings, maybe picks, maybe a chance on a young player or two that could develop into something special. I feel like there's more question marks, particularly with San Antonio right now than others. That's why I always thought if the Kings were to do this after the deadline made more sense, but I don't know if this is all being pushed on a fast track that you're past the point of no return or not.
There's also money issues as well, and we'll get into that in a little bit, and why with San Antonio there's probably more motivation to do it before than after the deadline, but that changes with other teams. And there's also a team out there I'm worried about more than any that would be an absolute nightmare. We'll get to that at 7:28. Coming up next, 3 for Madness. A lot of new, anytime there's news or the Kings are winning a ton, we always get new people online. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it, especially if you're watching on YouTube. Want to remind you to like, if you would, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. We do appreciate that. When we come back, 3 for Madness. Will Fox be dealt by the deadline? And is there any way to walk it back? Would you want to walk it back? Just a 1-minute break. We're right back after this.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sactown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for 3, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free. with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-301-4422. 800-301-4422. 800-301-4422.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, we'll get more into the Fox situation as it is developing. And, of course, lock it in all the way till 6 live and local. If there's anything that breaks or moves or we get more information in, we'll let you know. In the meantime, 3 for Madness. Question 1.
Do you think Fox will be dealt by the deadline?
I don't know. I don't know. And I don't even know. It's a guess no matter what. And I guess I could guess, but it's such a developing fluid situation that I think I can tell you this much. I think if Monty McNair was co-hosting the show right now and he was part of this 3 for Madness and Chris asked him that question, I think that would be his same response. I think they're talking, they're open. Remember, this hit yesterday, but just because don't think that Shams Charania is the one informing other GMs, by the way, of this anyways. That's just the public being informed. This is something that GMs have been inquiring about and talking about for a while. So it's not like there's going to be this massive bump, except now you're going to have teams thinking, maybe a little bit of left. Maybe that offer we threw out a couple weeks ago is a little more attractive because now the heat is turned up, no pun intended, and maybe the Kings will step back off of a couple of things they said they wanted. So you're going to get more and more conversations about this. If you put a gun to my head, I'd say no, but I also confess that's a lot of that's probably wishful thinking too, in the sense that I want to make sure they have a good deal in place.
I'm with you on an answer, which is what I would say is I don't know either. I mean, I don't know that anybody knows, but I feel like if you read the tea leaves, basically everything we've discussed already, I feel like a move is almost guaranteed to be made. So like if part of De'Aaron's camp is frustration with maybe lack of support for him here, and if a target is still to try to save it, well, then you have to. And I think the team anyway has to make a move. Now, is that enough to please that group? Now, that could be involving De'Aaron, but it also could be not involving De'Aaron and trying to make this team better for whatever the back half of the season push they could try to make. So I feel like it's going to necessitate a move. Obviously, the move is Fox. So I don't know either, Dave. I'm with you on that.
Question 2, please.
Question 2.
Is there any way to walk this back?
I mean, I've been trying to think about that since yesterday and ask about it. I think there could be.
Yeah.
If they were to actually come through on a deal, sit down with Rich and De'Aaron and say, look, we've got, whatever, Cam Johnson, John Collins, whatever name is out there. This is what our plan is. We really want you to be a part of it. What do you need? And by the way, there's precedent set for that. I'm not necessarily sure you want to do that, but it's not like teams haven't gone to their stars before and said, what do you need? What do you want? What can we do to make this right? But as I said on social media yesterday too, it's also it's really difficult to tell your partner you want to see other people and walk that back. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The toothpaste is out of the tube. I don't know if this is reconcilable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the way, look, if we say we don't know where this is going to go, if we try to look at it in a incredibly positive way, the one reality that has happened, Dave, is they've won at about a 70-something% rate, 11-4, 73, maybe 72, whatever that is. If they made a move and continued to play at that level for the last, whatever games are left, 40-something games, 30-something games, and advanced up in the Western standings and made a playoff push, whatever that meant, And let's keep in mind one other little carrot, if it even got this far, because I don't think it's happening this season, but De'Aaron still has one more year, and if he's still a King, the one element that's still an advantage to stay is if he became all-league next year. He has a chance to make $77 million more dollars. But, is he going to become an all-league player? I don't think that's happening this year. All-NBA, I should say. So I guess if you're trying to think wishful thinking, walk it back, it would all have to kind of go down some road like that. But I guess that's possible.
Question 3.
Question 3.
If there was, would you want to walk it back?
So if you could walk it back, would we want to walk it back? Yeah, probably, because I think that would mean that we'd have another talented player and we'd still have De'Aaron Fox. I like this team. I've said it all year. I said it when we were losing. This team is better. It's better than what their record was. And they're sitting on 11-4 over the last 15 games. That's a pretty large sample size. And that's with an imbalanced roster. Now, look, if trading De'Aaron, and I've said this from the jump, with all of my issues with the De'Aaron Fox discourse, I've said this 500,000 times. If trading De'Aaron Fox will balance this roster like trading Tyrese Halliburton for Sabonis balanced the roster and it makes the team better, I love Fox. There's no player I love more than the Kings. It's always team first. So I'm not indifferent to that. I'm not indifferent to that at all. But at the same time, if you're asking me, would I rather trade Fox for that player or would I rather trade, God forbid, but Keon Ellis and Devin Carter for that player? I'm going to keep the star and I'm going to add that better player in there. And in order to walk this back, you would have to make this team better. And ultimately, that's the crux of Fox's objections. It's not money. Also, remember, when we're talking about trading De'Aaron Fox, not only is there going to be an issue there because you got to find a team Rich Paul and Fox are okay with him going to, that they're not going to take his value on and make it a rental. But let's remember, this team's going to be acquiring a guy with 2 jacked up fingers on opposite hands, which means not only are you getting a 1-year rental next year, but you're getting a broken Fox to a point this year. So this all kind of factors in to the situation. So would I want them to walk it back? Yeah, because that means ultimately he would get help and the team would be even better. I just don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, and answer is yes for me. Yeah, of course, I would like it to be smoother, clean. I would like Fox to retire as a King, and if that was the case, that means things were good. Things were good for him professionally. Things were good for the Kings organizationally, all of that. So, yeah, I would definitely take that. And I think the other part, too, that I've known over the years, Dave, and Fox isn't exclusive to this, players get drafted to a team. Now, Fox seemed pretty happy coming here. I think that was always, which was great. That was one of the endearing things. Fox, like, yeah, let's go to Sacramento. I'm ready.
Yeah.
This is kind of the one time for De'Aaron to have a choice, right? Like, and maybe his agent and him are pushing one way or the other, and then just saying San Antonio is a preferred location or a few others. The Kings could have traded him at any other time or going forward to another team. That's all something that could be possible. But players like to be in that spot where they can choose, especially when he's in his prime and still has the back half of his career to go. So to me, I think it's a little bit about having a choice here. And I think the Kings can still be on the list of choices. But right now, it's there's some other teams that he's got that wandering eye for.
Wandering eye. We'll take a break. When we come back, whose fault is this? Who are you placing blame on as of right now? Are you placing it on the front office? Are you placing it on, obviously, De'Aaron Fox? A little bit of both. Robert Horry? The season finale of Lost? Series finale of Lost? I don't know. I mean, whatever you want to come up with. Whose fault is this? Who are you blaming it? I have some thoughts. I'm sure you do too. 1-800-920-1140 on YouTube as well in the chat. Please hit like and subscribe. If you want to text us, 916-339-1140. Quick break. We're back after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
A new year means new roads to explore. Grab the keys to a new Toyota and make adventure your resolution. Shop the industry's best lineup of hybrid SUVs like the RAV4 Hybrid, Grand Highlander Hybrid, redesigned Land Cruiser, or all-new 38 MPG Toyota Crown Signia. Every new Toyota includes Toyota Care, 2 years of complimentary scheduled maintenance. Kick off your best year yet in a new Toyota. Toyota, let's go places.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Happy New Grill. Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat as we did on Christmas Eve. Bring out all the flavors of the new year with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills have features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Complete with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Whitey and Napoleon Grills wish you Happy New Year. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Wednesday, March 5th, Sacramento is where the best wrestle as All Elite Wrestling presents Dynamite and Collision, two of professional wrestling's biggest shows all in one night. Be there live as AEW returns to Sacramento for the first time in 2 years for the final 2 shows before AEW Revolution.
Let's get down to business.
AEW Dynamite and Collision from Sacramento Memorial Auditorium. Wednesday, March 5th. Tickets on sale this Friday starting at $20 at AEWTIX.com.
This year, resolve to save on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy.
With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates on over 30 new half-ton Silverado LT and RST after rebates.
And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area.
$8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. Must own 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
1-800-920-1140. Jason, I understand we got people on the phone lines.
We do. Let's check in with Jason.
Jason, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. I have a couple questions real quick. De'Aaron Fox got on Draymond Green's podcast and said it's not about the money. Well, if it's not about the money, then why didn't he sign the contract earlier in the year or at the beginning of the season? Second of all, what about just waiting the year out and if he makes the All-NBA team, do a sign and trade? I know that whatever team he's going to go to is going to have to pay a buttload of money, but that's not my problem. And as far as money goes, I mean, if Dave, you're comfortable financially, I'm assuming it's none of my business, but if you were given a choice of $20 million or $40 million to improve your situation, which one are you going to choose?
I'll choose the 40.
Everybody's going to choose the 40. Exactly. So if money has a chance to improve the roster, buy De'Aaron, enjoy wherever you go. I mean, because I personally, I root for the name on the front, not the name on the back.
Wait, hold on. What? Oh, I think I'm missing. I think I'm missing the last part. What do you mean by how does the 20 versus 40 million affect what Monty did?
Well, you have said many times every player on the court is only 20%. There's another 80% that's on the court. Well, if you have 20% that you can keep, or you can increase and get better on that 40% to improve your situation, you're gonna choose the 40%. So, me personally, if Monty McNair has a deal in place with somebody and it improves the overall roster, like you said right before the break, you like De'Aaron, I like De'Aaron, you're gonna choose to improve the roster.
No, I agree with that. We just don't know that he has that deal in place.
Right.
That's the big.
Well, I know, and and hopefully he doesn't come out down the road. Yeah, he doesn't come down the road and say, "Hey, I had a better deal in place," and buy DeMarcus Cousins. I'm just saying. But anyways, all right. Thanks, gentlemen. I'll take your answers later. All right, bye.
Jason, he said a few things there.
Yeah.
Why didn't he sign there was literally no motivation. I totally the easiest part of all this is why didn't he sign the contract? Say it's not about the money. Well, it's two things. I mean, it's not about the money, whatever. Because if you have it, just kind of like what he kind of answered his own question. If you have a choice between 20 million and 40 million, you're taking 40 million. Well, if you're De'Aaron Fox and you've got a 70, 80, $90 million difference between signing the deal the Kings offered last year or signing a Supermax this year, you're going to sign the Supermax. He's not making all NBA this year. That was already going to be a struggle anyways, even if he had a career year. I think we can all agree for many reasons De'Aaron Fox isn't making all NBA this year. And I think that does, by the way, factor into the timing where it's like, okay, even if we wanted to, and you can't discount this. Hey, even if we wanted to stay here so we could get the Supermax, wait out the year, and then because I think honestly, Jason, that was the original plan. We're going to wait this out, see if I can't get the Supermax. In a perfect world, I get the Supermax, I make all NBA, I sign the deal, but I let the front office know, depending on where we're at, hey, you've got until next year, because they're after he signs the Supermax, you can't trade him for a year after that. And so we'll play it out, which would have been the end of the contract anyways. And then the following summer, if it still hasn't worked, well, then you ask out if the team still hasn't improved and they're still treading water, but you're getting traded with a Supermax that, by the way, he can't sign that if he's traded anyways, period, end of statement. So I think those two things are incongruent and really a motivation when you went on that podcast to say, yeah, it's not so much about the money. It's about, I want to win championships.
Yeah. And right now they feel like at the moment, present, temperature check at the Kings, I would think most people out there, even the most diehard Kings fan, doesn't think this team is going to win a championship. And they're kind of in that, I don't know, treading water mode. They're obviously closer to a playoff team than a lottery team, but they're not far from either one, right? I mean, they're just kind of in this, I wouldn't even say no man's land, but which direction are they going to go? If they keep playing at 11-4 pace, they're obviously going to go up, but it still doesn't feel like a championship team.
No, and I guess, again, part of the stuff that has bothered me throughout this discourse is not the idea of trading Fox or improving the roster without Fox. Again, like our previous caller said, you root for the name on the front, not the name on the back. But let's also look at, I think a lot of times as fans, we try to avoid, like in real life, when you feel like you're being rejected, you try to find reasons to justify it that don't have anything to do with what's going on in your own house. But here's a couple of things with San Antonio being the destination that actually take a couple of excuses away from us, because, and this is important. This is really important for people to grasp. He's asking to be traded to a team that is currently worse than the team that he's on.
Mm-hmm.
And he's asking to be traded to a market that is smaller than the team that he's currently on. And there aren't a lot of places you can say that about when it comes to Sacramento. Think about that for a second. This is not a situation where he's trying to join up and win a ring in Golden State back in the day, or he's not asking to go to Boston or hell, even Milwaukee or wherever. He's not asking to do that. Cleveland. He's asking to go to a team that is literally smaller. And
but
second,
has a generational star second to LeBron James.
That's exactly right, because he wants to win a championship. And this isn't a situation where he's trying to go to LA or Chicago or Miami or Dallas because of the market size, which you see all the time.
Another thing to consider is he is from Texas, so he will be closer.
He is, and he has an
to
off-season
home.
house in Houston and all that fun stuff and all that. But bottom line is, and I get it, I understand that. But this isn't that power play, by the way. It's not that power play that we see so often. And I'm getting a lot of feedback from people that are saying San Antonio is a larger market. I mean, I go by TV markets. Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto is number 20. San Antonio is number 31. And I'm sure we can go to demo and all that fun stuff. You're not talking about LA, Chicago, etc. This isn't a size of market move. We talked about this in the past, where shoe companies, for example, will offer bonuses to players if they're playing in certain markets that are bigger than other markets. That's not it at all. Now, one thing you can factor in is if he does go to San Antonio, and I know this is nerdy, but you also don't have state tax, and that does that does matter. That does make a difference. And I know it's easy to remember San Antonio as, the Spurs, but there's a very good chance that Greg Popovich isn't coming back. I hope he does, but there's a very good chance that Greg Popovich isn't coming back. And San Antonio doesn't have look, I love Devin Vassell. I think Stephon Castle could be a thing. I really do. I think he could. I heard him being called a role player the other day. I don't know that I agree with. I don't know that that's wrong, but I don't know that I agree with that. This is to join up with Victor Wembanyama if that's the case and try to win championships. So you got a guy who is making a move that the money is negligible. It's going to be the same here or there, and the market size is let's just say equal or smaller to make people happy, and the team's worse than the Kings right now, who are, by the way, on an 11-4 run, Jason.
Right, exactly.
We got more calls?
Yeah. How about Angelo?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for taking the call. I just wanted to ask, because I saw on James Ham's podcast last night that there's been multiple deals that they've missed out on after informing agents, and obviously they just left Brooklyn. Coincidence? Do you think this is part of De'Aaron and his camp being frustrated they couldn't close a deal out there?
I think the frustration, look, there's been a lot of calls. We'd said earlier that Fox's camp had been approached with a deal that they were taking their temperature on, that the Kings had been approached with. I think it's more of a frustration in other deals not getting done. I think it's more of a frustration in, like we talked about earlier, the John Collins deal being done, but it wasn't done. And the fact that they're looking to, and I'm talking about the Fox camp, to see what the Sacramento front office and ownership does to improve the team, and they have done nothing. They haven't done anything. They got DeRozan, and God knows what else they were supposed to do, and they've done nothing. All that's happened this year is they fired a coach. They had a first-round pick who was out most of the year and who also happened to play in the same backcourt De'Aaron Fox did. We haven't even gotten into the other parts of the firing of Coach Mike Brown because we don't have it confirmed yet.
Yeah, that was the later half of my question was, do you think that, Monty and Wes haven't even came out and tried to take that blame off of De'Aaron? Could it be him and his camp also being frustrated at the firing and the lack of communication?
I think that's a big deal. Thank you for the call. And we talked about that earlier, Jason. That is a big deal. It's a very, very, very big deal in the sense that he was kind of hung out to dry, as were all the players. And because he is the focal point, because he's the guy that people focus on, Jason, he's the guy that people were blaming for firing Mike Brown, and that just wasn't the case.
Yeah, it was honestly the exact opposite. He was a big supporter of Mike Brown, still is a friend of his. Doesn't mean he's anti-Doug or anything like that, or anti-King. That was a guy that they had a really good relationship together.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we never did get to the actual question because we had some callers. Who's to blame? Who do you blame, by the way? De'Aaron, the front office, both, other. And by the way, in other Kings news, there's a game tonight, Kings and Philly. We'll try to get to that. Your phone calls at 1-800-920-1140. Your texts at 916-339-1140 and more. We'll get to all that next.
Tonight, Kings and 76ers. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3. Tip-off at 4:30. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. Every day, ZipRecruiter helps people who are actively looking for jobs like yours, so it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With over 500 new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-889-5566. 800-889-5566. 800-889-5566.
How about you try something new this year? A resolution to enjoy what you drive. And the only way to guarantee that is at Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. And it's not just because they're centrally located right across from Hagan Oaks Golf Course or their huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. It's because their general manager Chuck Dean and his team, they really take the time to get to know you and your goals. To them, it's not just about a car sale. It's about building generational relationships with someone you can trust. That's why people come from all over, Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, it's where a handshake still means something.
Carmichael Dave, he's got
has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Chris Verlod. Coming up, we're going to also look, it's public record. We generally don't say things like, we'll talk about what the player's wife said. But Rasay Fox tweeted about this, and we talked about that earlier. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Jason, I believe we have a phone call as well. Want to make sure we service the people. Hello.
Yeah, anybody wants to check in, you can. 916-339-1140 or 800-920-1140. Ashley up next. Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning. So as far as like who I think is to blame in this situation, I say it's the front office due to the fact that they're not making any trades or moves to try to better the franchise. And I mean, personally, I don't know that it's needed, but I know that Fox would like some help based off of everything that we're hearing from him and wanting to win. But as far as the Fox trade situation goes, if we were to trade Fox, do you think it's a situation where we might blow it up? I read that there's a potential that Sabonis might get traded to the Hawks. It wasn't a shams bomb or anything, so I don't know the legitimacy, but what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, well, look, what did I say at the start of the show? Nobody knows anything. Okay. But there are things to think about, like how does this affect Malik Monk? You know, part of the reason he signed to play with De'Aaron. How does this affect the rest of the team? Are they going to be unhappy? Is if there is a pox on this franchise that it ultimately ushered De'Aaron Fox out the door, Jason, why is it not reasonable to think that pox could eventually infect another player? So no, Sabonis to the Hawks and all that stuff. No. And by the way, the Hawks they just got news they're dealing with a pretty big injury as well with one of their young guys. But I just don't see that, Jay.
Yeah, you know, and one other thing, by the way, like on the Fox definitely won't get all NBA. It's kind of too bad for him the way the season is, even like after December, where he averaged like it was close to 30 a game, and he was like, what was he, top 3 in scoring? Like he was well on his way. And I was looking at last year's All NBA. They ended up having 7 guards that made it, and I'm looking at that list. Like Luka's not going to make it this year. He won't hit the games threshold. There's a few other guards that are playing well.
Oh yeah, he's a big boy.
Like Tyrese Maxey made it last year. You know, he's having a good year, but I mean, again, you're back to like if De'Aaron was able to have, like they kept winning at this pace and he had a December, like the next 2 months, honestly, I think he could be back in the mix for a top 6 spot. I really do. But I don't think that's really much of a concern at the moment.
If you're here listening on YouTube, Chris, are you seeing this? We're getting a lot of people saying we're out on the air. We're working on YouTube, but our air feed is out, which is a little opposite of what happens.
I've been told it's back on.
It is back on. Okay. Well, if you're listening on the air and we cut out for a little bit, we apologize. Apparently that's been taken care of. I always like the idea of apologizing and saying we're working on it to people that can't hear us. But apparently they can hear us. So we talk about, or we ask the question, Jason, who's to blame for this?
Yeah.
You probably won't be surprised when I say, and we'll walk back through it a little briefer than we did earlier, that I largely blame the organization. I think maybe saying the front office is a little too simplistic. I blame the organization. And that's ownership, that's front office, that's not Slamson and not Scott Fresh, who we'll hear from in a few minutes. But I do blame the organization more than I blame the player, and here's why. It's just that simple. They've been tweaking with him for a while, and we talked about the media boycott thing last year. the fact that they added DeRozan and came into the league with an imbalanced roster, the fact that they drafted another guard rather than giving them some more front court help, the fact that they have absolutely no depth whatsoever. I mean, can we just be honest about that? They have no depth. I love Trey Lyles. I love Kevin Huerter. They're great guys, and occasionally we'll see some good games out of our bench. But they really, outside of Keon Ellis, they don't have depth, and they certainly don't have depth at the big. De'Aaron has given them multiple opportunities, and we've only seen what's happened in the media and publicly. We haven't talked about what's gone on behind the scenes and how many times he said, we need help. We need help. We need more. I want to win a championship. I want to win a championship here. This is where my family is. I want to sign the contract. I want to be here, but you got to show me something. You got to show me something. And I know that hurts for a lot of Kings fans to hear, because it's so much easier. It's so much easier to think this Fox is a diva. He's abandoning us. Screw him. If you don't want to be here, put yourself in the same shoes. Whatever your job is. If you were lucky enough to make really, really good money at your job and you were good at something, but you were working in an environment where your friends were constantly coming and going, being frustrated. Your immediate bosses were getting fired and turned over left and right. When you're competing in your line of work and you guys need a bunch of new staplers and some copy paper and you don't get it. And you got another company that everyone's like, oh my God, it's really nice working here. Everything's great. It's a bright future. You can make the same amount, if not even maybe more money down the road and this and that, whatever. Come work with us. And you look over there and everything's smooth and easy and running great and all that. You still tell your old company, guys, I'm loyal to you. I started here. You gave me my start. I want to be here. Please help me out. And they're like, yeah, well, we're going to fire your boss and everyone's going to blame you for it. We're not going to stick up for you. We're just going to let you answer questions about it. Like, we're going to let your colleagues think you fired your boss and we're good with it. Like, we're just going to let it go. And right. No, we didn't get the stapler and we didn't get the copy paper, and maybe we will. And then they come out and they say, oh, hey, we got the copy paper. We think it should be here on Friday, and it's not here on Friday. Oh, no, it should be here next Friday, and it's not here next Friday. Eventually, you're going to be like, dude, okay, I got to go. I got to go because I'm not staying here for the rest of my life. I want to win championships, and I want to be happy, and I want to be in a functional organization. So yeah, I blame the organization, not just because I think it's the right choice, but also because I think it's incredibly important for fans and media. And we talked about this with the Cowboys yesterday. You have to hold the right people and the right parties accountable, because if you don't, it's going to happen again and again and again. And you're going to go from Stauskas to DeMarcus Cousins and his coach getting fired while DeMarcus has meningitis, to DeMarcus getting fired during the All-Star break, to Mike Brown getting fired while running team practice and on his way to the plane, and all the hullabaloo that went on behind. Like, you have to, at some point, we're not doing our jobs, I don't think, as tough as it is to call it out, to not call it out, because then it's going to happen next year or the year after and the year after. We're always going to blame everybody else. You got to look at the right issue. De'Aaron Fox is a case study in organizational dysfunction, and that's going to be studied for years, Jason.
Absolutely. And, his track record of what he's gone through as far as coaching changes, roster changes, and kind of been that rock solid player all the way through. And we've seen him grow, develop into an all-star, and become a really good player. Honestly, he's on the Mount Rushmore, honestly, I think, of great Kings. But all that being said, if in fact we get to this point where they feel it's better to deal him, the tricky part to me on that is, again, no one's untradeable. You have to get that deal right, because where they are now, I don't think the organization is in a rebuild thought. I just don't. You would be changing the course of where you are, obviously, with a player of the quality of Fox that I don't think you're getting back in return. But, I look back at some of the past best players that they've traded. Like when they traded Mitch Richmond years ago, and they ended up with Chris Webber, who became a Hall of Famer, there was some serious risk to that. Mitch wasn't old, but he was an older player than Chris. Chris was coming off 2 teams already early in his career with some risks. Now it paid off beautifully. When they traded DeMarcus Cousins, one of the best players they've ever had, that trade didn't materialize in the return value of what Cousins brought. They never got that quite back. So, they've experienced a little bit of both of that. When they traded Chris, they didn't get the same kind of return back. So, these trades aren't easy. If you do it, I guess the important phrasing is getting it right. And I don't know that anyone could tell you they got it right the day they make the trade. So if there's a trade they make and universally it's loved, great. But what does that mean? And universally it's panned, great. But what does that mean? You have to see it play out. And I think that's a tough spot for everyone involved.
We also haven't mentioned Royale yet either.
Oh, trading Royale?
No, Royale pissed him off. Remember?
Oh,
so what the blank is that?
Yeah, that was the sign.
That's where it all started. We'll take a break.
By the way, as we break, I want to remind everybody, Dave, this Friday through Sunday, February 2nd, the PBR Unleash the Beast tour is back at the Golden One Center. We're looking for lucky caller number 2 to score a pair of tickets to witness PBR at Golden One Center this Sunday, February 2nd. Again, 1-800-920-1140 or 916-339-1140.
We'll take a break, quick break. When we come back, what exactly did the Fox say? I love the way you phrased that, Jason, in our notes. And let's just back up. Let's talk about what's out there, the news in itself, reset the whole situation. And I want to get into his wife Rasay's tweets as well, and what she said. We can kind of parse through that as well. We'll do all that right after this.
Tonight, Kings and 76ers. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3. Tip-off at 4:30. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings is Sactown Sports 1140.
Following is furnished by Excel Media Pros. Are you battling drug or alcohol addiction? Call Rehabs America for a free consultation. Drugs and alcohol can destroy your life. Our program offers a complete medical detox plus inpatient drug and alcohol treatment. Your insurance may cover 100% of treatment. Many have already completed our program and are living substance-free lives. Call for your free consultation now. Connect with one of our qualified treatment specialists. It's time to take back your freedom with Rehabs America. Hope is one free phone call away. Today is the day to take back control of your life and live it free from the chains of addiction. Call for a free consultation now. The call is free, the consultation is free, and your insurance may cover 100% of your treatment. Don't miss this opportunity to get your life back. 800-375-1159. That's 800-375-1159. Don't wait. Help is here. Our dedicated, friendly staff is here to answer all your questions now. Call 800-375-1159. That's 800-375-1159.
What's up? We're talking again to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, tell us what's happening for the Start Something New sales event.
Check out the world of electric when you lease a new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT Plus plug-in for as low as $99 a month for 24 months with $39.95 due at signing. And these things get 77 MPGE. My sister has one and she loves it.
Wow, that's 3 times the miles per gallon of my car.
It is pretty impressive how much money you can save at the pump. But we also have a huge selection of used cars at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter with over 200 vehicles available and 40 under $20,000.
See their full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
Lease of $99 for 24 months is before tax and license. Must be California resident. Includes 6,500 SFS hybrid electric federal tax credit and 2,500 West SFS lease cash. Must finance through Stellantis. $39.95 due at signing. 7,500 miles per year. 30 cents per mile over. Tax and license extra. 7 with his net savings. Sample MSRP 51,370 VIN A20366. See dealer for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
this year. Resolve to save on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Meta Chevy with $8,000 off MSRP after rebates on over 30 new half-ton Silverado LT and RST after rebates. And Meta Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Meta Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MetaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. Must own 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are halfway through the week. Your week! So right now, I need every single listener on their feet. Callers, texters, YouTubers. Make some noise for Sacramento's favorite sports morning show. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, and the man behind the glass, Chris Burlon.
Thank you, Scott Fresh. Halfway through the program. Remember, we got you covered all the way till 6 p.m. Alan Stiles will take the torch from us at 10. Jason, I'm a little disappointed, by the way, and both you and Chris and the YouTube listeners, most importantly, at least you and Chris have a job to do, but all show, even though we've been focused on other stuff, I have in our palatial studios here, we have I'll call him an engineer, if you will, IT guy, whatever you want to say, a guy who knows what he's doing. And they put the logo up behind me when I'm in this room, and there's been a rubber ducky behind me in our logo the whole show, and no one's mentioned it, not even on the chat. Well, rubber ducky.
It was mentioned in the chat.
It was? I didn't see it. That's good work. They always try to mix up our logo here.
I don't see it.
You don't see the rubber ducky?
I do.
Okay. That's very important. It's the most important thing. That's what everybody's tuning in for, is the rubber ducky behind me on YouTube. By the way, if you are on YouTube, please please subscribe, say hello. And we are so happy that you have joined us. And Jason, here we are. Tom Sharania reporting yesterday, after a lot of noise before that Rich Paul has informed the Kings front office that if you're going to move him, better sooner than later. Also, the report saying the Kings are now open to listening to trade offers. De'Aaron Fox has a preferred destination, that destination being San Antonio, which is what most reports are saying, and we have no reason to not believe that. And also that the Kings have been fielding quite a few offers over the last we'll just call it 16, 18, 24 hours, if you will. And then late last night, De'Aaron Fox's wife got on Twitter and said a couple things in response to people saying stuff. Somebody asked, why isn't Fox saying anything publicly while his agent is requesting a trade? And Rasay said, he still hasn't asked for, she said his agent didn't request a trade. Simply put, if the Kings want to move De'Aaron for the betterment of the organization, there's a time span in which you want to do that if you're the GM. His agent commented, per source, whatever that means, on that suggested time span. Somebody dug up a quote from her on Twitter on April 29th of 2023, where she said, De'Aaron is never wanted out, just to clear that up. Somebody bumped that, and she responded and said, he still never asked for a trade, by the way, especially while being in the midst of a good run. That should be clear. Which also leads you to the point, we can parse words. You're like, well, he hasn't requested a trade, but his agent did.
Sure.
Well, his agent's not going to do anything without his permission. Come on. Secondly, well, he hasn't requested a trade, but he said, hey, if you're going to trade me, you better move it along, and he's not signing the extension. We have no reason to believe that the offer to sign the contract if the Kings improve themselves isn't still on the table.
Mm-hmm.
We also, based on the thing with Mike Brown and the other examples we gave, why are we not talking more about the fact that the organization could come out and make some statements on this and take the pressure off of De'Aaron Fox? In other words, if you want to keep De'Aaron Fox, or you at least want this to calm down, you're not doing any favors by letting this whole thing twist in the wind. And I would simply point to Miami and Pat Riley, who has spoken publicly numerous times directly about the situation, even going from saying we're not trading Jimmy Butler, it's not happening, to okay, we're going to try to trade Jimmy Butler and we're suspending him multiple times. Now, De'Aaron is handling this much classier than Jimmy Butler is, but
as expected, by the way.
I would just ask everybody this: do you think Mickey Arison, the owner of the Miami Heat, and Pat Riley, the president and GM of the Heat, do you think if this was going on, don't you think we would have already had a statement from Pat Riley calming this thing down or commenting on it one way or the other? But the silence is deafening, which is why I'm a lot more upset with the organization. This isn't about could the team improve without De'Aaron Fox. That's a perfectly legitimate conversation. It's why are we doing it this way? Why did we do the Mike Brown thing this way? What are we doing, guys?
And why do we get here, and how do we prevent it from happening again?
That's the point. And what, speaking of Miami, and what really scares me, Jason, is that we're all talking about San Antonio, but let's also, it's very easy to look and say, Jimmy Butler wants out of Miami, De'Aaron Fox wants out of Sacramento. Is there something that could be done here? You could reunite De'Aaron Fox with Bam Adebayo. You could bring perhaps, let's say, Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero over to Sacramento for Fox.
I think Jason and I would also request Jaime Jaquez.
Correct.
Yes, I fully understand that. God, please, just nobody wants to see the show the day after that trade happens. I promise you that. Nobody wants to be here for that, Jason.
I don't know. People like car wrecks.
Yeah, they do. That's true. The other part of this too, Dave, is, and we've alluded to this, and the fact that Fox and his group did not sign the Supermax. I personally have no advice for I would have given him the same advice. Wait it out a little bit, see what the organization does. If you get to that All NBA, then boom, you're going to get paid. And so just financial, I think this is another thing that's important to understand, probably the timing of all this too. According to Keith Smith, who knows a lot of the statistics, he's covers the NBA. Let's see. If Fox, as we kind of alluded to earlier, Dave, was to get All NBA, so the Supermax, the only team he could sign that with is with the Kings. That would get him 5 years, $345 million. So just a massive, massive deal.
Just under your salary.
What's that?
Just under your salary per year.
It's actually,
just right near what you signed for.
It's actually a lot under.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't want to flex, but and Fox still could do it this year. Odds aren't strong, but also if he's not traded and still a King, same thing could happen next year. He's still signed, so he could hit this mark next year. His max he could get with re-signing, with extending on another team if he was traded. Let's do the San Antonio example, just for example. 5 years, $296 million. Now, if he makes it all the way through this year and all the way through next year and is just a free agent, the max he could get would be 4 years, $219 million. So I think that middle choice of re-signing and extending with another team is probably why there's a little bit more of a push for this deadline. Probably if it doesn't go through at this deadline, more of a push in the offseason, and then certainly by next deadline, these would all be bigger issues for Fox's camp. And it also gets back into that choice thing where it's an athlete's time. He's still in his prime. He still has a back half of his career. And, he was drafted by the Kings. He's been seemingly happy enough here, hasn't requested the trade. But this is a chance where he has a choice if he gets to free agency or via trade, being this good of a player where he can kind of make some agent can make some kind of a request. So I think it's there, but it also still pinballs and puts things back on the Kings to either make a strong enough deal and an impression now to keep Fox and his group happy, or you just choose that other route and say, look, we're getting too many calls, too many choices. Maybe it is in our best interest and Fox's to move on.
No, I think that when you look at the money, that nails a lot of it down too. That does factor. And also remember, if you have to wait, I think 6 months after the trade in order to negotiate or extend your deal. So that matters, because if in fact Fox were traded, let's say, to San Antonio at the trade deadline, they could renegotiate, they could extend that during the summer. If that didn't happen, if it was over the summer, now you got to wait till the middle of the season to do all of that. You got to bring it in. By the way, remember too, think about it from San Antonio and their fans' perspective. You give up a bunch to acquire this guy, or whatever team does that, they're going to do the same things we've done before, like we did with Sabonis not that long ago. You had a lot of fans saying, "Oh my God, is he going to sign?" I mean, you never know; things might not work out. There's a lot on the table right now, and there is a lot of leaking going on from inside Golden One Center, and
also
just,
something to think about too is, you could say there's a team that isn't in one of his teams of this is where I want to go to, where that team could be thinking, okay, we're not one of his preferred, but let's make a run with him, and we're going to be able to say, like, hey, you're going to be able to sign more with us than San Antonio, to where you're almost calling his bluff of, hey, we're in a good situation with you. We think we could go to the next step with you. Do you really want to take a pay cut and go to one of your preferred sites instead of staying here?
And that's a playbook the Kings have, look, like when they got Chris Webber, for example, that's the most famous one. And, getting him to re-sign. I mean, we've been through a will he, won't he re-sign situation way too many times. And by the way, more often than not, in fact, pretty much every time, that player has stayed with Sacramento. So not immune to that. The problem is it's Rich Paul. They have a very specific plan and where they want to go. And I read it somewhere, maybe it was might have been our own Sam Amick, I'm not sure, but somebody wrote that Rich Paul, to use Godfather terms, is a wartime consigliere, and that's why you sign him. And I think, and look, we talked about this when he did sign Rich Paul, when he left his longtime agent that he'd known since his youth and signed with Rich and Clutch Sports. That could be a harbinger of things to come. And I think that further points to the whole, this is not something that's happened overnight or in the last couple of weeks. This is something that has been building and building quietly, that he's kept quiet on, that all parties have been, for the most part, very professional about, where he said, we need help. I don't want the funny thing is that whatever you think of De'Aaron Fox out there, his goals for the Kings line up exactly with the goals of 99% of the fan base, which is, we want to win a championship, we want to go late into the playoffs, we want to be contenders, and we want the front office to make moves to augment the talent we already have, and we don't have enough right now. We need more. That's what Fox wants. That's what the fans want, whether or not you want him here or not. There's no denying that they want the same thing. So in a sense, as we said before many times, the loudest, most influential voice in the entire organization, De'Aaron Fox, is saying what a lot of fans have been saying forever, which is, guys, could you make a move? And here we are.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just never easy, Jason, is it? It's just never easy in Sacramento.
We wanted something to talk about.
Yeah, well, Bonnie Raitt said it. Give them something to talk about. They did. Here we are. So we will take a break. If they go down this trade road, we'll look at that a little bit. Is there a deal you like? And there's some media deals that have been put out there. Well, we've talked a little earlier about San Antonio and why, as it sits head to head, doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense. We'll take a break. We'll look at that. And by the way, guys, a question that I haven't asked yet. The Kings are on a road trip right now. They play Philadelphia later tonight. And they still have a bit of this road trip to go. As a matter of fact, they don't come home for their first home game until Thursday, the 6th of February, which is just, Jason, I believe, 3 days before the deadline. Is De'Aaron Fox going to get a different reception when he's introduced if he's still on this team against Orlando? And Is the energy in the building going to be completely different if he's still on this team? Yeah, I don't know. But it's a good time to remind you guys, speaking of energy, to go see my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Hey, that's pretty good, I hear. By the way, 30-second break, guys, here. I'm just going to say this, and then we'll get back. So no going away. No flipping, as Gary Shanley would say. Hey, look, it's cold right now, at least cold for, Sacramento. So your furnace is no doubt running. And, hey, why don't you catch it? Yeah, you want to make sure it's running properly. How about an inspection for you? They can come out and they can inspect and look at your furnace and see if there's anything wrong, make sure it's running right. Normally it's $119. Right now, $49. And, oh, by the way, if you need a new furnace, excuse me, I skipped a second. If your furnace is older than 5 years, that inspection is free. If you need a new furnace, half off. Even if you need a minor repair, it's $50 off your first repair. So they're here to help you out, save you money, and make sure everything's running smoothly. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. All right, 30 seconds as we play a little word, and then when we come back into the Deer and Fox, if you're in the right place.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Saturday, March 8th at 7 p.m., the San Antonio Spurs visit Golden One Center to play the Sacramento Kings. That could be a very different game, Jason, than the one we're looking at right now.
Yeah, intriguing, obviously, with the Spurs being mentioned and linked to De'Aaron's preferred destination. So, yeah.
It's interesting to wrap your head around. We're having this conversation.
Yeah, I've got Sam Vecini, who we've had on I think before here from The Athletic, just put out some Fox potential trade deals. Did you see his at all?
I saw it. I haven't read it yet. So if you got it in front of you, I would love to hear what Sam Vecini's trade ideas are. And by the way, please, if you follow me on Twitter, send me all of your trade ideas. It's awesome. Totally want to read them.
None of the, anyway, I'm always amused by those. All right, here's Sam. So he says the Spurs acquire De'Aaron Fox and Simone Fontecchio from the Pistons. So it's a multi-team deal. The Kings would get Trey Jones, Blake Wesley, Sandro Mamuskishvili, 2 first-round picks from the Spurs in 2025 and 2027. The Pistons would get Harrison Barnes, Malachi Branham, and a 2025 second-round pick from Sacramento.
It's weird because I read somewhere, I think the Spurs are encumbered by the Stepien rule with the 2025 draft pick. I could be wrong. I got to look, but I swear I did read that. So just to recap,
that does zero for me personally.
And I need to know, did he say where those firsts are coming from?
Let's see, 220,025 first round picks via San Antonio and Atlanta, and then a top 25, 10 protected 2025. What is it? Oh, 225 first round picks. Okay. Top 10 protected via Chicago, and then a 2027 first round pick. So I guess it'd be 3 first rounders. But
yeah, I would just cut off a finger on air and chew on it.
Yeah. Here's 2 proposals with Houston. Rockets get Fox and Herter. Kings get Fred VanVleet, Reed Shepherd, a 2025 first round pick, and a 2026 first round pick.
So let's talk about Houston for a second, because that's been mentioned. Maybe they get Fred VanVleet and Cam Whitmore and this, that, and whatever. Let let me just ask this: if you're Houston, you're the number 2 seed in the entire league. You're young for the most part. You've got seemingly really good chemistry. And when you look at the league overall, you have the 3rd best record, and you just beat the 2nd best record 2 times in a row. And the second time being on the road, and then went on the road and beat the 4th best record, the defending champion Boston Celtics. The Rockets are 32-14.
Right.
They're the best team not named OKC or Cleveland. Do you really want to mix your team up? Even forget about who they're losing. And I'm not saying that Fox would hurt them, but now you're going to insert Fox into that. By the way, a hurt Fox into that. It's tough for me to see Houston wanting to do something.
Yeah,
right
more
now.
in the offseason than now, right?
Yeah.
The second one he has with Houston is Fox, Alex Len, Jordan McLaughlin. Kings would get Steven Adams, Jeff Green, Aaron Holiday, Cam Whitmore, and 3 first-round picks.
I mean, I need to see where those 3 look. The only thing I care about there, I mean, I love Steven Adams, but he's 90. Cam Whitmore's got potential. In limited time, he's looked really good. I'd love to see where those 3 firsts are and what the protections are on them. But honest to goodness, look at what Danny Ainge did. When he got 4 firsts each for Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. I feel like it's either got to be that way, but then that kind of signals a rebuild. And I don't think this team is not set up for a rebuild right now. And we've talked about this before. This ownership and really the large majority of this fan base do not have the stomach or interest in a rebuild. And by the way, Jason, I don't blame it right now. I don't think this team needs a rebuild. They need an augmentation.
Yeah. Here's one. Let's see if this intrigues you. He has 5 of them, so that's 3. Here's Orlando takes a swing. Magic gets Fox. Kings acquire Anthony Black, 2 25 first-round picks, 127 first-round pick, Malcolm Brogdon and Johnny Davis from the Wizards. Wizards will get Jonathan Isaac, Jett Howard, 2 second-round picks from the Magic. That's just too confusing to me.
Do we know where those picks are coming from? The 225s and the 27?
Let me see. Via Orlando and Denver, and the 27 from the Magic.
So you're going to get 3 picks that are almost certainly going to be in the bottom 20. And then give me just the Kings players again that they're getting back.
That the players they're getting back?
Yeah.
Anthony Black and looks like Malcolm Brogdon and Johnny Davis from the Wizards. So kind of
this is Sam Vecini?
Yep.
I like Sam, but let me ask you, has anyone ever does he have a drug problem?
Well, let me give you the last one because this one's titled.
Okay.
This one's titled, Let's Just Finish the Deadline, the Deal All at Once. So all the deadline deals. He goes, Kings acquired Jimmy Butler from the Heat, Trey Jones, Blake Wesley, and 2 first-round picks from the Spurs. Heat would get Bruce Brown from the Raptors, DeMar DeRozan from the Kings, and a first-round pick from the Spurs. Spurs get Fox from the Kings and Davion Mitchell from the Raptors. Raptors would get Barnes, Malachi Branham, and 2 second-round picks from the Spurs.
And who do the Kings get again? I'm sorry.
Dang it, I just went away from that. They were getting Jimmy Butler was the main piece there. Just to get you all riled up. Let me see the last part here, Dave. Sorry. It was Jimmy Butler for the Kings, Trey Jones, Blake Wesley, and 2 first-round picks.
Jesus.
I know.
Look, dude, if that's what's on the that's why we always say, like, we'll trade the guy. Well, what's available? I'm in no way saying that Sam Vecini is accurate. And again, I like Sam. I'm messing around. But obviously those are almost certainly not accurate deals that have been offered. But it's kind of a lesson to remember that just because you want a move to be made, you don't know what's on the table and what other teams are asking for. I can tell you right now, if the Kings pulled off any of those deals for De'Aaron Fox or anything resembling those deals for De'Aaron Fox, it would be like watching your parents take a shower together, honestly. It would just be it would be gross, and it would traumatize you, and you'd probably start crying.
Yeah, and one other note Chris sent us that I guess Shams was on ESPN also multiple times this morning. I think the last thing he said on the Kings, said the Kings, quote, so far in conversations with all of the teams, what they've said they want are win now players. They also want draft capital as well. So they're trying to thread a needle of, if you were to move Fox, get someone that's going to help them with their current roster to stay competitive, and then also keep things pushing with some draft picks as well.
So you want really good win now players and draft capital.
Sure. They want to win
leverage.
any trade they make.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we normally everybody would do 4 down territory here, but we're going to take your phone calls. There's just too much going on with De'Aaron Fox. We know that's why you guys are here, and it's like a restaurant. We don't want to put stuff on the shelves you don't want. We want you to put everything on the menu that you're here for. So we're going to continue the De'Aaron Fox talks at 1-800-920-1140. That's 1-800-920-1140. You can text us at 916-339-1140. 2 lines open right now. If you get it, we will get to you. Before we get to who's hot, who's not, Katie Christensen, and so much more. As Jason asked her the tough questions that I wouldn't ask. So stay tuned at 9 a.m. for that. We're right back after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With over 500 new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Hey, it's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and the regular season is over, but the high hand bonuses, those are not. $500 per primetime football game, whether it's weekend, Monday night, whatever it may be. And those bonuses available until the season ends, including the big game on February 9th. Capital Casino, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com. Please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fall head over boots in love with music this Valentine's Day. Get ready for Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, returning May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, and more. Enjoy food trucks, mechanical bulls, and line dancing. Tickets start at just $52. Visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club. Don't just say, I love you. Show it with music. Buy tickets now.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip, if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I've had my all-electric SUV for a little more than a year, and I continue to love it day after day. In fact, me and my daughter, we were just on vacation not too long ago, and we rented a car while we were on the trip, and my daughter said, Dad, I like your car better. I turned to her and said, honey, you know what? I like it better as well, and I couldn't wait to get back home to my Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. You know, at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, they are more than just a dealership. They're a partner you can trust throughout the entire ownership of your luxury vehicle. Whether it's a refined C-Class or versatile SUV lineup, your perfect Mercedes-Benz is there waiting for you. Plus, right now, you can enjoy 3.24% APR for up to 72 months on certified pre-owned models on approved credit. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is your trusted partner in luxury and reliability. They've been doing it for more than 30 years. So head on down right now to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton or online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross. And soon, there it is. There's the camera. This is probably not going to be popular, but I think we should say it, Jason. Would like to also thank the Sacramento Kings front office and organization. We're getting a lot of heat today, including on this show, but I'd like to thank them because without them, boy, we wouldn't have a lot of you in this chat right now. So thanks for the content and the ratings. Can I just say something that's probably not great for my job? I'd honestly rather not have the content or ratings. I'd rather have a winning basketball team that
I'm with you.
Isn't, a soap opera. But you and I have pontificated, me because I'm a blabbermouth for a good 2.5 hours now. I would love to turn that over to the fans, the people that actually matter here and around Sacramento. 1-800-912-1140. Jason, we got calls.
Yeah, jam-packed line, so let's do it. Jacob is on this morning. Good morning, Jacob.
Morning, gentlemen. How you guys doing this morning?
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting day for the city of Sacramento. Hey, I just want to point out a few things. Shams just came on to Sports Center, or First Take this morning, and he said that Fox only wants to either re-sign with Sacramento or San Antonio. I'm curious of what you guys think of this does to his trade value because, I mean, like you were just reading about teams like Houston and Detroit, but it doesn't make sense for them to trade for Fox if, he's saying that he's not going to re-sign anywhere except for Sacramento or San Antonio.
It's a good question, Jason. Let me ask you something. Thanks, and we saw this earlier. Yes, thank you, Jacob. I'm gonna role play, and I'm going to repeat what Jacob said, but I'm gonna stop at a certain point. Shams came on Sports Center earlier, and he said that De'Aaron Fox only wants to sign with Sacramento or San Antonio, and then he went on to ask about the trade value. Did anything else tweak you out of that statement?
No, actually, no. I mean, I was locked in on that first part because I had something I wanted to say about that. So maybe it was my omission, honestly.
No. So I think it's an important thing that we have to kind of keep our eye on. He only wants to sign with Sacramento or San Antonio. He only wants to sign with two teams. One of them we've been talking about a lot. And as I just kind of jokingly talked about the content and the ratings and all that, let's keep in mind that everyone loves drama. But doesn't the statement that he only wants to sign with two teams and one of those being Sacramento, isn't that a public leak and signal that if the Kings were to be so inclined, they could walk this back and solve this with De'Aaron Fox on the team for the duration of the future?
Yeah, and I think this is something. I mean, look, I think we'll go down multiple paths. We have done that today, but if you go down that path, I mean, let's go back to the financials. He obviously can still make the most here. Like that potential is still out there as an All-NBA player. Supermax has to happen while he is a Sacramento King, and there's still some benefits of being under the Kings umbrella right now. And as we said earlier, that max extension here, even without being All-NBA, is higher right now than it would be with any other team unless he gets traded basically this offseason or this trade deadline. So those are the two advantages the Kings have when they say it's not about money. A lot of times it is partly about money, and I don't think it's a situation that he's like miserable with, but it also is hey, organization, we were out here in December. We kind of said in our Clutch Sports, like, what are you doing? What are you doing to make this team better? Well, now you've got a timeline of 8 days if the Sacramento option is still a possibility for the Kings to do enough to, make a signal that pleases that group and also shows a tangible evidence in wins, which right now is happening already at 11-4 over the last 15.
We'll go back to the phone lines in just a second. Want to shout out the chat. Nick and Ripon, home of the Ripon Chiefs, says, my 6-year-old daughter just said, Dave, stop talking about Fox. He's staying with the Kings. My kids are learning early what it's like to be a Kings fan. Well, hello, sweetheart. I hope you're right. You and I are on the same page. I do hope he stays, unless we can get a really good deal in return. Also, who was it? 12 Malatu, I think that's how you say that, says, who cares where he wants to sign? Take the best offer. It's a perfectly understandable statement. But going back to Jacob's question about value, yes, it does hurt his value if he's narrowing his trade destinations to one place or re-signing with his current team, because other teams will then offer less if they think it's going to be a rental, and if his agent Rich Paul tells them it's going to be a rental. So to 12 Malatu, who says, hey, who cares where he wants to sign, take the best offer is going to come from the place that he wants to sign. So they kind of work in unison. 1-800-920-1140. We still got more folks, Jason?
Oh yeah, we're jam-packed. Let's go to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you're next. Good morning, Jeffrey.
Morning, fellas. First time, long time.
Hooah.
Hey. Dropped my kids off at school this morning, just kind of processing some stuff, you know. I'm a nurse here in Sacramento. Love my city, rep my city, cheer for the logo.
Love you.
So I'm kind of split two ways, you know what I mean? Like, I love the fact that we can get our hands on nice things sometimes, but I'm more in the fact that we can't hang on to it. And so, like, I love the team, love the city, love the Aaron, and it just seems like, you know, like Sam said the other day, LOL, talking like another guy, Sam Amick, that the writing's kind of on the wall. And so if the writing is on the wall, I want to get what we can get. I want to make my team that I love better, but I'm sad about who we can't seem to be. We can't seem to get out of our own way, you know?
I think it's a very good call. And yeah. First off, shout out to you. My mom's a nurse, and nurses are amazing. Thank you.
Shout out nurses.
Shout out nurses. And Jason, I look, I have been very much pro Fox in this entire debacle. Pro Fox in the sense of how this has been handled. But I think to our caller and to a lot of other people, I think we all feel the same. I am pro Kings. I like De'Aaron. I hope he stays.
Yep.
But let me tell you something. If there's a deal out there that will make this team better without De'Aaron Fox, you make the trade. There's no question there. Just because you like the guy, you know what I like more? Parades and rings. So that's how you.
Are you sure you like them? You haven't had one.
That's what I was going to say. And I think, Dave, you also go down the same road that we all do. Like, there's some PTSD, right? Of like, how do you look at it? We all dream of if they do this, like that they're going to get better, that it's going to work, that they did get the right trade, and that it does pan out. But there are scenarios where you go, man, Fox thrived with Team B and it took off, and this move just didn't help. And that's a disaster spot too. That's kind of the push and pull of all of this.
It 100% is. And it's to the caller's other point, why can't we just get out of our own ways? I don't disagree with that. That's the biggest frustrating thing. And shame on both of you, by the way. Not only am I a Giants fan and experienced 3 rings, but I have a championship ring. And I had a parade. And nobody remembers the Sacramento Republic? Hello? Hi?
Where was the parade?
I think it was how about Arden? we were on a Tonka track.
There's a ring. There's the Jamba Juice.
I have drinking out of the cup.
Oh, see? Championships in Sacramento. 1-800-920-1140. Sacramento Monarchs. Jason, I believe, has a ring. Hello?
Bling, bling.
Back to the phones, Jason.
Michael. Good morning, Michael.
Hey, good morning, guys. Just found out about it late last night, and kind of disappointed, and I'm disappointed in the front office. This is what you get when you draft 3-point guards, with Halliburton, Mitchell, and then Devin Carter. Didn't watch my first draft in a long time last year because this front office makes me want to pull my hair. When Jalen Wells was at 35 and he's thriving on the Memphis Grizzlies, and he's a prototypical 6'7" from Folsom High in our backyard. Our scouting sucks, but I'm pro Kings. I think if we got to make a move, I hope it's with either Houston or the Spurs with Stephen Castle, 6'6", reminds me of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But, we got to go for Cam Whitmore on Houston. We need a hyper-athletic. And those three boys out there in Houston can throw it down, dunking-wise with Amen Thompson and, Jalen Green. So we got to get a mixture of some of those young pieces and at least 2 picks, because we can't pull a Vlade Divac when he came publicly and said, I almost got a first-round pick. So our front office has, a lot of work to do, and hopefully we could keep Fox. But, yeah, just before I'll take this offline, I wanted to know where is this stemming from? I just saw he prefers San Antonio, but, is this more of Fox pushing this, or is this the front office pushing this? But I'll take it offline. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That would be Fox's Cam that's saying that. I don't think the front office cares. You almost never see stars. I mean, try to remember the last time you saw a star. How many times you've seen a star get traded intra-division? Number one. Yeah. And number two, generally, although it happens more often, they don't even get traded within the same conference.
Right. And the fact, Dave, look, again, I'm also just intrigued by kind of that, the inner workings of this. This all could have been done very secretively, and maybe it got out, but this was very public, and I think on purpose. So to me, again, that's a shot to the front office to say, hey, either get on it. Look, De'Aaron might be willing to stay and sign. That has been said publicly from Fox's group. So either front office get on it and get a right trade that makes this thing going in a direction that feels good for everybody, or get on it and move on, and we've gone too far, and get a deal that helps De'Aaron, but also more importantly helps the Kings.
And by the way, not for nothing, but we do this, and I know fans do this every once in a while, and it's not necessarily fair to do it, but do you think that De'Aaron and his camp, and really honestly other guys on the team, no offense to Devin Carter, but Khalil Ware got drafted 2 spots later by the Heat, Jared McCain 16th, Dalton Knecht 17th. You look at the struggles the Kings have had. We go back to Davion Mitchell being drafted ahead of Alperen Şengün, and the way we gave away Davion Mitchell basically to get rid of Sasha Vezenkov's contract, who trashed Mike Brown in the organization when he went back over to Europe. There's a long trail of breadcrumbs here of either missed opportunities or just dysfunction that led to this. It's not, and I swear to God, I don't care if everybody in this town hates me. There's no way, if this thing goes down like it looks like it's gonna, that I'm gonna do my best to not let anyone forget where the blame lies, because you have to, in order to deal with the problem, you have to acknowledge the problem so that you can fix the problem. And if this turns into the easy road to go is to say De'Aaron Fox is spoiled, he wants out, and he hates Sacramento, and it couldn't be anywhere further from, I mean, maybe the wants out part, but the rest of it couldn't be further from the truth. We will take a break. When we come back, Jason, you know what I thought we could do? How about we take a breath? Who's hot, who's not? We'll do there is a Kings game tonight against the Sixers.
That's still going on?
Yeah, that is actually still going on. And then we're going to get to Katie Christensen, who is out there in Philly prepping for that matchup as well. We'll get to her at the top of the hour. Who's hot, who's not, and everything else coming up next.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sactown Sports.
Spins away from the defender, in the paint, soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Joe Fallon's bedroom mini fridge. Sure, this pint-sized chiller's max capacity is 3 soda cans, but what it lacks in stature, it makes up in cooling strength. Each beverage a perfect 37 degrees every time. And the 2 feet Joe walks to get a drink, priceless. That's why his mini fridge is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
April breeze, give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be
Reeling in the refund.
limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
How about you try something new this year? A resolution to enjoy what you drive. And the only way to guarantee that is at Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. And it's not just because they're centrally located right across from Hagan Oaks Golf Course or their huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. It's because their general manager, Chuck Dean, and this team, they really take the time to get to know you and your goals. To them, it's not just about a car sale. It's about building generational relationships with someone you can trust. That's why people come from all over, Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, it's where a handshake still means something.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Who is hot?
Well, Dave, I'm glad you asked.
Thank you.
It's Cannon Catchings from BYU basketball.
I was hoping you'd say that. Cannon Catchings, maybe the greatest name in sports right now, and look at you. Fantastic. Household name.
Yes, sir. BYU beat Baylor yesterday, 93-89. He had 23 points and a rebound. But the more interesting part of why he's hot, he's the only Division I freshman this century to go 8 for 8 or better from the field, 4 for 4 or better from 3, and 3 for 3 or better from the line in a single game.
Wow. The game's been around a long time, Jason. That's a long time.
He's doing some things.
Could we trade De'Aaron to BYU?
For Catchings?
Yeah.
Catch it. Yeah.
Catchings if you can, if you will.
There you go. Well, then if that's the case, who's not?
Ronnie James.
Oh, easy.
In 15 minutes, he was 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3 with 0 points. Oh, but he did have 3 turnovers.
Oh, okay. So there's that.
Poor Bronny. Poor Bronny James. Everyone just assumes he's in the NBA or whatever because of his dad. I didn't even know.
And they are correct.
You think so?
Who's his dad again?
I was told it was LeBron James, but they have different first names. How are they even related?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about that. Think about that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We got a 3 in the key for an actual basketball game tonight on Sactown Sports, your home of the Sacramento Kings. All that gets going later today with all the Kings pregame, and then we'll just see. It's going to be more than just basketball tonight, ladies and gentlemen. John Tesh, take it away. Let's make it. Jason Ross.
Well, it's a very De'Aaron Fox-centric 3 in the key today. So we're running the risk. We're going to assume that he's playing tonight. There won't be any other reason.
Are we?
Well, we'll see. Otherwise, we'll just burn this and throw it away.
Mm.
Dave, we are asking for De'Aaron Fox points scored tonight in Philadelphia.
I'm just gonna have some fun with it, dude. 50 points for De'Aaron Fox. He's dropping a 50 burger in Philly. Why? Just because. Let's just make this thing crazier.
Well, I'm gonna go. He scored 30 in Brooklyn. He's gonna score 30 in Philly.
I'm gonna say that De'Aaron Fox scores 0 points.
Ooh, Chris is onto something.
Wow.
What does he know? Chris, you have a report?
No, nothing yet.
Okay.
Wow. Christopher Laud reporting that De'Aaron Fox may not play tonight.
Well, I have Chris's second one is going to be filled in. You'll know why, Dave. He's called fourth quarter Fox. So we just want fourth quarter points of his 50. How many are coming in the fourth?
Give me 14 in the fourth for Fox.
Okay, I have 11 for Fox. Chris, does he somehow come into the game later and score, or is it 0?
I'm going to go with a 0 fourth quarter points for Fox.
All right, then a random stat, Dave. Something different, something you're predicting. Could be Fox related, could not be.
I think that De'Aaron Fox will hit 50 points with 3:35 left in the fourth quarter. And he will immediately, you know how like in Austin Powers where Dr. Evil's son storms out of the room, but he does it like that weird run. That's what
Yes.
De'Aaron's going to do into the locker room, into the tunnel.
I like the thought of Mr. Evil.
Mr. Evil.
Mr. Evil. Well, that was before he went to Evil School. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. By the way, if you get that with 3:35 left, I wrote it down like that's going to be the call of the century.
That would be, yeah.
I'm going for it. Fox hits the game winner. Chris?
Keon Ellis will have 3 or more 3-pointers made tonight.
Okay. I mean, someone's got to fill in for Fox, right?
Exactly.
All right, there you go.
Can I also
Dave,
say
you want
one
to?
thing?
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Do I want to what?
A few more callers, but go ahead. We got to go say your thing.
No, we can absolutely go to a few more callers at 1-800-920-1140. I have this thing in the back of my head though, that I probably should get checked out by a doctor, but also is bothering me. What if the trade deadline hits and that's when De'Aaron decides to get surgery?
Oh, I mean, I don't think that would. I guess anything is possible. To me, I'd put that at like 1%.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because look, I guess what we'll know is here's I'm not. Let me see how to put this. Well, I would like to see De'Aaron Fox stay unless they truly get. I mean, like if no one's untradeable. Like if they get a deal where you're like, all right, makes sense. Like I think what they did, they got the most what they could. I think this works. But if they get through next Thursday, and they're past the deadline, it doesn't mean De'Aaron still can't be traded in the offseason, and that's certainly a path they can go down. I don't think De'Aaron's going to get into a situation where he's like Jimmy Butler. I just can't imagine him doing that.
I can't either. I don't. I mean, the thing is that no one there'd be no case against him getting surgery, by the way. He's legitimately hurt and it would be legitimate surgery. He just and I agree with you. He's not going to do it. I just want everything to be okay, Jason.
Take that out of the back of your head.
I'll take it out of the back of my head right now. Let's go to the phones.
All right. Anthony. Good morning, Anthony.
Hi, how's it going, gentlemen?
Great.
Morning.
I just want to say, after the evaluation that we all seen when they busted Boston, we saw the roster, but you have to keep Fox for the playoffs because he's a matchup nightmare. And Monk, Fox, and DeRozan, they're all capable of dropping 30 on any given night. So I don't see why we will want to lose that threat. The starting five is already set. The starting five is set. Fox, Monk, DeRozan, Murray, and Sabonis. I know they're not the biggest. I don't see there's no Giannis out there other than us going after Giannis. So I don't see what we're asking for. So I just wanted to hear your thought. KC said it on his show. He just said Monk resigned. Everybody resigned. They have a new coach. Everything is like a fresh start. So I just don't see why Fox wouldn't resign.
Okay.
Jason?
Well, some of the things you supported earlier, some of the missteps the front office has had, the organization has had. I mean, the one thing though, Dave, I still want to go back to, like, if I guess it's an if because it's not happening, but let's just say we know how fragile the standings are, right? The Kings are technically right now 2.5 back of the Lakers. And in a world right now, let's just say the Kings were there in the Lakers position in 5th. I'm going to go back to this because I don't think it's as far of a stretch as people are making it for De'Aaron to be all NBA.
This year?
Get just off the top of your head. I'm not going to hold you to this. Name, I don't know, 10 guards that you would go, oh, they're having. This is different than All-Star because people are voted at like all NBA. Look, Sabonis, remember, didn't make the All-Star team and made all NBA. So just off the top of your head, just curious.
Okay, Shea.
Absolutely,
SGA.
he's a lock. Yeah, lock, 100%.
Let's see, Jalen Brunson.
Okay.
Probably. I mean, LaMelo Ball's having a really good year.
But he can only miss like 5 more games.
No, you're right. I
wrote a few down.
We're going to see Tyrese Maxey tonight.
Maxey, Anthony Edwards,
Booker and Lillard. Edwards are always in there. Cade Cunningham for sure. I think.
Okay. Yeah, and maybe it's less about record, but let's just say the Kings were 5th, and Fox again is 12th, I think, in the league in scoring.
Yeah.
He's up there, he's having one of his best seasons, and I think he hasn't played well lately, so I think we've all like how he's not all league. Well, part of it is record a little bit. Part of it is the way he's played. But in just last month, or was December? Yeah, it was last month. He was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he has a great run the rest of the way and they have a better record, I just don't think it's crazy. It's probably not going to happen. But he also has another year here if, let's say, they do the right move, whatever the right move is, and they are a top 4 seed next year, and he's playing at a level that he's been playing really the last 3 or 4 years, that would land him on a potential of one of the 3 All-NBA teams, and then boom, that's the only spot he can get that super max. So I still think there's an avenue here for the Kings, but again, that's there. That's obviously still in play. It's just they've got to explore this option, though. They've got to look at other teams, because if that makes you better, you go for it.
I guess, and I don't disagree with you on spec. I guess there's, and I'm just I'm asking here. I'm not, is there a thought at all, Jason, if the team has accepted that he's going to move, or that they're going to move him, is there a thought that you don't play him? That you don't risk him being injured further, God forbid, I don't even want to.
We know what the worst case scenario would be.
But you know what I mean. Like, something really bad happens. Is there, again, provided that they have made the decision that they're going to move him or do everything they can to move him by the trade deadline, it's almost like you don't want to put your, you don't want to have your starters in a 20-point blowout either way with 3 left in the 4th. I mean, is there a passionate discussion at all, do you think, in the front office where they say, guys, we should probably consider not messing with his health?
I just don't think they would go down that road. I mean, I think, again, where's this team? Even some of the tea leaves we're reading, the Kings want some in return, if they do it, some win now players and some future assets. This team, everything they've done, Dave, for the last 2 to 3 years is to be a playoff team. I think if you start to shut down Fox, those are leaning towards other elements of compromising your chances to win. Obviously, they won the 3 games he didn't play this year, but over the past, they weren't a winning team without him. They have great wins this year without him. But I think in the long haul, without getting a return, I look, they're already thin now. You take Fox out, like that bench is, now Ellis is in the starting line. Now it's like it's a BB gun. They got nothing coming off the bench.
Well, and I'm a big fan of not jinxing, and I'm very superstitious. I'm just imagining De'Aaron Fox tonight, for example, against Philadelphia driving, and did not take advantage of the Start Something New sales event with our good friends at Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland, where you can check out the world of electric when you lease a new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT Plus plug-in for as low as $99 a month for 24 months with $39.95 due at signing. And those things get 77 miles per gallon with the little E, for electric. Oh my goodness gracious. It's 3 times the miles per gallon of a lot of cars, the average car out there. And you can save a lot of money at the pump, but also a huge selection of used cars at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Super Center with over 200 vehicles available and 40 under $20,000. See the full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Hey, nobody beats Hoblet, period. We will take a break. When we come back, Katie Christensen, analyst for your Sacramento Kings, and Jason Ross. He is going to Oprah this sucker. Ask her all the tough questions while I ask her all the softballs. We will have right after this.
Tonight, Kings and 76ers. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3. Tip-off at 4:30. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports, 1140.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interest first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. You know I'm a huge fan of their SUVs and sedans, but they also have a huge Vans Fleet Center. Listen up, business owners. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of tax deductions. They have the perfect van to power your fleet, including the new fully electric e-Sprinter alongside their very reliable diesel options. And even if you aren't a business owner, let's say you just want one for personal reasons. Maybe you want to go out on the town with the fellas or with the ladies, or maybe you want to take the kids on a road trip. Well, their vans are fully customizable. So check out Mercedes-Benz of Stockton right now. You can choose from their dependable diesel models or even go all electric with the new e-Sprinter. So head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton right now and check out their fleet center. Or, of course, you can go online at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Yep. Yep. Bobby, what should we do now? Wow, get busy on the phones, get busy making trades. How about we get busy talking to the television analyst of your Sacramento Kings out in Philadelphia, because believe it or not, despite all the hullabaloo and malarkey, there's still basketball tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. Katie Christensen joins us each and every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning, fellas.
Wow, East Coast Katie.
It's kind of afternoon, you know.
That's right.
But okay.
It's lunchtime for Katie.
Katie, how's the road trip been? Anything interesting?
It's been long, fellas. It's been long, and it's also happening, as we know, at the end of January when things get pretty interesting around this league.
Yeah, you're only halfway through it, and the strange thing, Katie, obviously there's a ton of noise. You've been a professional athlete. You're now covering this team for a long time. Have been with the team. Distractions happen, I think, in all sorts of ways, whether it's stuff that we know about publicly or just stuff internally. I kind of a two-parter here, Katie. Is tonight more distracting for De'Aaron himself or his teammates, or kind of explain the level of distraction these guys are going to go through tonight?
I mean, Jason, that's a really good question. It's crazy because, you know, just in like everyday encounters with fans, you know, they always ask me about trade stuff, and I've been getting this already for about a month, you know, and shocking, I know, but I don't actually have an inside track on what's going on in the front office. That's not part of, it's way, way, way above my pay grade. So I'm kind of with everybody else in terms of what's going on and what could happen. But, you know, I can't offer this. Like, I've been in the league for, you know, almost 2 decades. And this is just what happens every single year. And I feel like it amps up every year. It's, you know, kind of more noise and chatter than the year before, because there's, you know, with social media and insiders and people with, you know, writing random articles with opinions and so on and so forth. I think sometimes we can even kind of get confused on what is actually real and what's not. But when it comes to how players respond to that, you know, I have to imagine, like, in my career, I never went through trade rumors or anything like that, and it wasn't near what it is now. But there's 2 sides to it, right? I imagine that these guys, you know, they've been doing it long enough and in this era that it's just part of the job, you know, and you kind of tune it out, you go about your business. And the reality is that, you know, this schedule is so structured. You know, you go from, you know, you wake up, you're going to have your, you know, training table, you know, with the trainer, and you're working on, you know, stretching and this and that. And you've got game film, and you've got shoot around, and the guys are about to get back from shoot around here in a bit. And, you know, then you're going to have your pregame meal, and then you're going to go take a nap. And so it's like, there's a lot of structure built into it, which I think can help kind of tone down the outside noise. But they're also human beings. And, you know, it can't be easy, because as lucky as they are to be able to have this amazing career and profession that, you know, so many people strive to be able to do, and very few actually get to this level, it must be hard to a certain degree for them to not be able to control their own destiny. You know, like in the real world, like, you know, Jason, you're not getting traded to another radio station. Like, you have a choice over what you're able to do and where you're going, and career choice. And that's just not kind of the dynamic in professional sports. So I have to imagine there's probably a bit of distraction involved from that component on a personal level. But to close it up, I think that Doug Christie, having been a player and experienced all these things, is the perfect person to be kind of leading them through this right now. And they have said, multiple guys, that his playing experience and the fact that he has played at this level has been really beneficial over the last month, in terms of how they're responding to him, bonding with him, and listening to him. And so I have to imagine that that's a huge benefit right now.
Katie Christensen joining us. Katie, I assume, I know it's kind of a curveball, you're on your cell phone, not your hotel phone, right?
Right.
Yeah, I said I wasn't, and I'm not going to ask you any Fox questions, but you said they're coming back from shoot around. Any chance you could leave your room and go downstairs? Because I know you have the little sheet where everybody's rooms are, and just knock on De'Aaron's door and just ask him what he wants. Is that weird?
No problem there.
Yeah, that's totally professional. Yeah.
Just not.
We're not going to be back in time for this to actually happen over, but I will definitely consider that suggestion, Dave, as soon as we get off the phone. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Let us know. We'll break the news. There is basketball tonight. As you know, we've been talking Fox all day, and we'll talk about Fox later as well throughout the show. But there is a game tonight, and the Kings are 11-4 under Doug Christie, and they're in this. It's easy to forget on a day like today, but they're in a fight for not just the play-in, but the playoffs. And whether De'Aaron is here, whether De'Aaron is not, they're playing a Philadelphia team that beat up on the Lakers last night. It is the second night of a back-to-back. The Kings did kind of putter around against Brooklyn, but they covered the spread. They got the big victory. So, how do you see this matchup? No Joel Embiid, but the Sixers still have a little bit of firepower.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is a team that has won 3 straight, and they have a little bit of momentum coming off a stretch where they lost 7 straight, and this team has underperformed. But they, last night they had 6 guys out against the Lakers, and were still able to pull out their 3rd straight win. So Tyrese Maxey is a problem, obviously. He's someone that, creates a lot of opportunities on the offensive end, but also he gives you a lot of problems defensively as well. And that's one of his strengths, to, create steals, get out, and he scores better off of turnovers than anybody in the league, leads the league in points off turnovers, right now, like over 6 a game, which is really, really impressive when you look at, the kind of steals leaders and things like that. Like he's, I think, 7th in total steals, but he's just dominating in terms of how he's able to convert on the other end of the floor. So, and also, it's always interesting playing a team that's super depleted, because it's like 6 of their main, like maybe top 9 guys are out right now. And so what that does is it provides opportunities for other guys that you have less of a scout on, less of a feel for what their strengths and weaknesses are. And they're playing with an incredible motivation, because this is an opportunity for them to, kind of cement themselves in the league and on the team, and maybe earn more playing time, or, who knows, trade deadline coming up, go somewhere where they would be a bigger piece of the puzzle. There's all kinds of things that factor into it. And this has always been a tough team for Sacramento to play. This road trip in general has always been really tough. It's like going through a defensive buzzsaw. So that makes it really, really difficult. But I think for the Kings defensively over this last 14 game stretch, I think they're 8th in the league in defensive rating. They're top 5 in offensive rating. And you look at that Knicks game, that was, a tough one. Denver's second night of a back-to-back. They struggled with that one, but they came back in the end. Like, there's a lot of really positive things that has been transpiring here in the month of January for Sacramento. So I'd love to see them go into this game with kind of that attention to detail on the defensive end. And I think that will hopefully put them on the right path to being able to come out with this win.
Katie, I think last game, or it was before the last game, De'Aaron had said something about his hand and people, questioning, whether he should play or how it was. And he openly said, look, there's no excuse. I'm just missing shots. He didn't seem fazed in the slightest, and he wasn't efficient for about 6 games or so. And then boom, here comes the Nets game, and De'Aaron just makes a statement right away. Did you see anything different there, or are you kind of falling in line with De'Aaron? It's like, hey, I just had a stretch here where shots aren't going.
Yeah, I talked about it on the broadcast. I mean, it's always hard, right? Because, I don't want to downplay the fact that, players playing through injuries impacts their performance, right? It definitely is a factor, but I don't want to use it also as an excuse, because I feel like most players, if it's impacting their performance, that they're more likely than not going to be like, hey, I need to take some time off, right? Need to heal up a little bit, rest up a little bit. And, I kind of mentioned, DeMar DeRozan went through a stretch there where it was like 5 or 6 games where, he just took a serious dip in terms of productivity and effectiveness on the floor. And then look what he's done over the last 8 or so games. I mean, he's been phenomenal. So it's always hard to say, hey, De'Aaron's been playing with hand issues since day one. this season. He scored a franchise record 60 with the same issues, right? But his shot hadn't looked great. It looked a little off, but is it, just tired legs? Is that what are all the things that factor into it? But what I can say about what I saw against Brooklyn was his shot looked great. He had great rotation. He had great elevation on the ball. So it looks like, okay, maybe this is just one of the realities of going through an 82 game season where everyone's going to take a little bit of a dip in production, for 4 or 5 game stretch here and there, because it's just part of the reality of this long, arduous season.
Katie Christensen with us. We are out of time. I know you won't, but Philly is known for cheesesteaks, but I've also had a breakfast cheesesteak there, and it's insane. So maybe go get that for a late breakfast, early lunch, and then you'll be all ready.
Hey, how are you guys doing post water fast? Are you guys good? You making it?
Yeah,
thriving.
I have never
feel like a new human being.
Yes,
I have never loved watermelon more in my entire life than I did. The first thing I ate was a couple cubes of watermelon and a spoonful of Greek yogurt with honey on it, and it was like, honest to God, top 5 thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah. Thank you for asking, Katie. Hey, have a great call tonight, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, take care. That's Katie Christensen, TV analyst for your Sacramento Kings, and she will be on the call tonight. Of course, you can listen to the game as well right here on Sactown Sports. We'll take a break when we come back. Hey, we're well into the final hour. Let's take a quick preview. We know you're here for Fox Talk, and we will get to that, but let's also just take a quick look at tonight's matchup as well. We'll get back to talking about De'Aaron Fox and the news that's out there as well. For some of you joining us right now, we'll update that and more. We'll do all that right after this.
Tonight, Kings and 76ers. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 3. Tip-off at 4:30. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports 1140.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With over 500 new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Christopher Law. All the way up to 9 o'clock. That's about 45 minutes from now. By the way, it's been so busy today, I didn't even notice. Did we not have MC in the chat for that interview?
Early on.
We did. Okay. Oh, I didn't.
Hey, Cal.
I believe he was first.
Yeah.
Was he? Okay. All right. It's tough to keep up. There's a lot of chattings going on. Was just worried about him just in case. He's always here anyways, but he doesn't show up for Katie. And I'm worried he's sad about De'Aaron or something. Man. Welcome back. 1-800-920-1140 is the phone number if you want to weigh in. And Jason, let's just take a quick breath real quick. I know we're going to get to Philly, but how are you doing?
Me personally?
Yes.
Good-ish. I don't know. I don't know where this is going. Kind of like we said earlier. Like, will they trade him? I don't know. There's arguments to be made for it. There's arguments to be made against it. I really do. I like De'Aaron Fox a lot. So I got to separate that part from. Perfect world, Dave. I'd like him to stay. I'd like him to retire as a King. That's what I want. But I don't know that that's better for the Kings. I mean, I don't know that answer.
I think if Basketball Jesus came down right now and was like, this trade they're about to make is going to make the team better without De'Aaron. I don't know if we're going to win a title. I don't know what's going to happen, but just simply said they're going to be better without De'Aaron. I'd say, okay, cool, make the trade.
Yep.
But it's that unknown. And how many times do you see a star get dealt, and then you get picks and a couple players here, there, whatever, and it just ends up not being. The one thing that gives me a little bit of solace if it happens is that we are heavy in the backcourt. But man, for all the people that are saying make the trade, our front office sucks, make the trade. Well, I don't agree with you necessarily. The front office sucks, but you're trusting this front office to make that trade now?
Yeah, and then the other part too is who was it earlier? Oh, I was thinking it was a caller. No, it was Jim Les when we had him on. I mean, of all the times like guard heavy, the time they kind of ignore that was Luka. Now it's not this front office, in fairness to this group, but they are guard heavy. They can do it. And the other part too is, I know he has his preferred destination. If they were to do this, Dave, my preferred destination is the Eastern Conference.
Yes.
But
yes.
I don't.
My preferred destination would be the Euro League.
Oh,
I'm just saying, so we don't have to play him.
Yeah, exactly.
And did I read right? Was it Chris Watkins that said he's 30 games away from passing Jason Thompson for most games ever played by a Sacramento King?
Yeah, he's got to be really, really close. And I
believe Watkins said he's 30 games away.
Yeah. So I think there is. I think Jason Thompson, is the only King that's made it through 8 seasons, or not? Is it 8? Yeah, Fox is on 8. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, well, I mean, we'll have that day may or may not come. I mean, the Boogie Cousins trade was pretty big in this city, but there were a lot of I think there was a lot more vitriol. Boogie was much more controversial, I should say, than De'Aaron. Then it'll be depending on how the trade goes, a lot of copium in this town. There'll be that post-trade excitement, if you will. This is it. I honestly think that if this trade is done, let's also, we haven't mentioned this either, Jason, but if this trade is done, and this probably isn't a good thing, but this is going to be either the obituary or the boost to Monty McNair and Wes Wilcox's resumes here in Sacramento. And the thing is that how do you even know if they make that trade for De'Aaron and the Kings do well enough, let's say, for another first round game series? How do you gotta think this summer, am I keeping these guys at this front office, or are we moving on? And odds are you're not even gonna, especially if draft picks are involved, obviously you're not even gonna know you're not gonna know if this is a good trade for probably at least a couple years.
Yeah, and then if again, we take the wrong route of that and say it costs them, then you're in that cycle again, right? Where you're replacing front office. It just, I don't even want to start thinking that way.
Well, to Jim Les's point, Vlade Divac didn't draft Luka Doncic because he wanted a big counterpart for Fox, and he thought,
he's a big boy.
By the way, have we ever really made the connection that at his best, I mean, if Marvin Bagley was healthy and hit his ceiling, he's probably still not better than Domantas Sabonis, right? So this is kind of what the Vlade thing he visioned was finding a big counterpart. Well, Fox has it now, and then trading Tyrese Halliburton to figure somebody else, the backcourt was too heavy, got to trade somebody. And then if Fox goes, have Luka, you don't have Halliburton, you don't have De'Aaron Fox. I just don't know if that's a world I want to live in, man.
Kind of scary, isn't it?
That sounds weird. I meant like a
I know what you meant. Yes. How about let's see what Frank has to say. Frank. Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Carmichael Dave?
Hey, what's up, Frank? How are you?
Well, yeah, I don't know, man, about this Fox thing. But first of all, he wants to go to San Antonio. I'm not trading him to San Antonio. San Antonio doesn't have anything I want.
Okay.
I need athletic forwards. They don't have no athletic forwards. They're guard heavy.
Yes.
So
Yeah, we
I'm
talked
saying
about that earlier.
Fox and his agent. He wants to be traded. All right, we'll trade you to Houston. But if he's going to Houston, I want Amir Thompson, or we got no deal.
You want Amen Thompson, or we got no deal?
That's it.
Yeah, I would say a couple
him
things.
And Murray.
Yeah,
Then you have him and Murray, two great defensive players.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I'll tell you this much. I would trade De'Aaron Fox for Amen Thompson at this point. But I will tell you right now, Frank, Houston will hang up the phone on you. Before you even get to the men and Amen Thompson, they'll hang the phone up.
Isn't that funny that right now Thompson's playing great? I mean, absolutely great. If you offered that trade, if Houston called pre-season starting or even maybe November's done, Kings hang up the phone.
Absolutely, dude. They hang up the phone. That ain't happening. And now he's like this budding star that they have.
Yeah.
And look, that happens. You know what? Nikola Jokic, Denver would hang up the phone if anyone other than San Antonio asked to work out a trade, and he was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial. That's
right.
That's just the reality of the situation. And let me just reiterate too, because good call, Frank. And I'm hearing a lot about, and for those of you who've been with us the whole show, sorry, but we get new people in and out, and I want to make sure we're all kind of on the same page. I hear you on the why does it matter where he wants to go? We'll trade him to the place that we can get the best deal. And in theory, you're 100% correct. But just to reiterate, these other teams, before they make a move with the Kings, are going to ask Rich Paul, De'Aaron Fox's agent, if he would re-sign or be open to re-signing an extension. And you better believe if De'Aaron Fox and Rich Paul do not like the destination, they're going to say no. And now De'Aaron Fox turns into a 1.5 year rental, and half of that year he's got a hurt finger. So they do kind of, I'm not saying they can force the Kings may just say, screw it, we like this deal and it's lesser, but we'll take it. But they have say in where he goes. They have influence.
Yeah, but I do want to go back just because we mentioned it earlier too, Dave, that financial difference of getting traded and signing an extension with that team would still be significantly more money than if he ever became a free agent again. So those are things that the Kings have to play. And we know it from examples here. I don't know. Do you remember, Dave, like when Rudy Gay came here in a trade? A lot of people thought that maybe he wouldn't resign. I don't know if he ever publicly said he wouldn't.
Yeah.
But he did. He resigned. DeMarcus, the Sabonis resigned. Like Weber resigned. A lot of times when you get to a team, you do have the financial advantage. And the Kings, even like when Rudy Gay was here, the Kings weren't any good at all.
No.
And he resigned. There was probably plenty of choices for him to go somewhere else at that point in his career. But the Kings have some advantages, and certainly the agency here in Clutch Sports and all that have some advantages too.
Well, just a final half hour of the program. We still got a lot to take care of. We're going to cross-talk with Alan Stiles at 9:43. Yes. We still need to preview this Kings-Sixers matchup, which we'll do next, along with what to watch. And also something we haven't gotten to all show, Jason, is I have no idea what's going on with Gonzalez Law.
Okay, well, and one more giveaway day. We're just in a giving mood today.
Wow, we're bribing people.
We are. So we want to tell you, you can win a pair of tickets right now to the All Elite Wrestling at Sacramento Memorial Auditorium on March 5th. All Elite Wrestling brings you an action-packed night of professional wrestling as AEW Dynamite invades the Sacramento Memorial Auditorium on March 5th. And we're looking for caller number 5 for De'Aaron Fox to score a pair of tickets to AEW. 1-800-920-1140 or 916-339-1140.
We'll take a break. When we come back, tonight's game, what to watch, and more. We'll do that next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Let's go! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Let me tell you about Gonzalez Law. They're right here in downtown. Jonathan Gonzalez, a terrific attorney that's had phenomenal success. He doesn't settle for less, and neither should you. His meticulous case preparation and overall approach has resulted in life-changing results for thousands of clients. You can go to saclegaldefense.com or 916-304-9187. Everyone has a past, but what happens if you have made a few mistakes and make good on that past, but it keeps following you? Well, how about an expungement? That's what an attorney can do, and Jonathan Gonzalez has specialized in that to get your rights back, to keep you going forward. Maybe there's a sexual harassment case, a auto accident case, wrongful termination, criminal defense, whatever you may need. You want someone there that's got experience, that's someone that's local, someone that you can trust, and someone that you can count on. Again, it's a Gonzalez Law, saclegaldefense.com, or you can call them at 916-304-9187.
I joined the military for my kid and his mom. I miss my son a lot. One of the things with the military is tobacco, but I saw a lot of people try to deal with mental issues. Everyone's vaping constantly. After my first hit of a vape, I was hooked like that. Once I got back home from my deployment, I caught my son trying to hit my vape. That was it. I had to quit.
Californians are beating big tobacco. You can too. For free support, text Kick Nicotine to 66819 today.
We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Buy 5 quarts of Castrol Edge full synthetic motor oil and get a $15 gift card after rebate, plus 2 times points at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Final half hour of the program. Jason, I've got a lot of problems, but I got 2 right in front of my face. Number 1, I'm in the media room here in New York, and I just realized somebody forgot. You noticed earlier that somebody literally turned the lights out.
Like a little fade out. Yeah.
They turned that back on. Anyways, they locked the front door, so I don't know how to get out. Number 1. Number 2, I don't know where the bathroom is. So yeah, we may have
Stinky.
No. I've just been drinking a lot of water today, so I may be staying on with Alan until 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just stay on all day. A show with Whitey and Kyle. 1-800-920-1140. I know I'm throwing out the phone number. We got a half hour left.
I'll be back for a game night filling in for Marsh. I'll be on at 3. So if you're still there, we can just keep it going.
Wow. Are you going home and coming back?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, now that we're talking about this, why don't we just go the whole way to the Kings game? We
just us all the way.
Yeah, we just tell Alan, hey, take the day off.
Or he could join in.
Here's a question. Do you think Alan would welcome the day off, or do you think he'd be mad because there's so much to talk about?
He wants this day.
Yeah, he would be
too.
mad.
He thrives on these days.
His takes are going to be so hot, man. Oh my!
They're the
goodness.
hottest.
They're so freaking hot. They're
Scorching. I still have the visual of you telling Katie to go down to De'Aaron's room there in the hotel and just say, "Hey, what do you want?"
Wouldn't that be great radio, though?
Yeah, with the with the phone or a recorder or something. Yeah.
Remember when in Private Parts with Howard Stern, when he went into the program director's office, he just kind of beat down the door, and I don't think it would be that contentious. But look, Katie's been coming on the show a long time. Why she can't go ask him herself?
That's right.
WNBC.
Well, he's not whatnot. Kings at 76ers. That's all right here on Sactown Sports. Also, the Nuggets. I'm really looking forward to this game. Nuggets at Knicks in Madison Square Garden. That might be a fun game. Mavs are in a free fall right now, and
the fun thing about the Nuggets and Knicks game, if the Nuggets lose, they have to add a K to the beginning of their name.
So stupid. Is there another N team in the NBA currently? Like, is it just
New
the
Orleans?
Nuggets? Oh, so that would be. I'm trying to think of places that you could actually have this bet. KNEW Orleans. I gotcha. Mavs at Pelicans. Clippers at Spurs. So you got that. Maybe, by the way, Spurs.
Huh?
Could that be, right? Oh, the Nets. Duh. KNETS. The Nets. You've also got the Timberwolves at Suns. This is interesting. This who are we rooting for here, Jason? T-Wolves and Suns. Suns?
Standings watch.
Watch.
That's a tough one. I think the T-Wolves.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough one.
I'll go Suns.
Yeah. Kings have the tiebreaker right now on the Suns. They don't on the T-Wolves. They still play the T-Wolves on this trip. Yeah, I don't know.
I still have a feeling the T-Wolves are going to, I don't know. God, I don't know.
I think if both are right, personally, I think the Suns are better.
No, I agree with you there.
So let's have them lose.
And I've been thinking about the T-Wolves this year, too. Is it more Julius Randle's a lame, or is it more that they miss Karl Anthony Towns? And you can't be like, it's a combination of both. Katie.
What if I say it this way? It's a combination of both.
Okay, now you can say that. I just didn't want it.
I didn't go, it's a combination of both.
Yeah, I didn't want it in that kind of voice.
Dave, it's a combination of both.
No, that you can't say.
Oh, too strong?
Yeah, way too strong. Kings, by the way, have won 7 of 10. Can we just remember that? They're 11-4.
Yeah, let's go.
You had all the Mike Brown malarkey and all that go down, and right after it's like, oh, this has honestly been such a, as the kids say, a whack last month. Think about it like this: just over a month and 2 days ago. Well, you know what? A month and 4 days ago, it was Christmas. Deck the halls in presents and stockings, and it was fun, and we did all the Christmas stuff. And then 2 days later, the next day, the Pistons come in and crap all over the Kings at Golden One Center. That's lame. And then the next day, Mike Brown's fired, and that's lame. And everyone's super sad about how, not maybe necessarily him getting fired, but how it went down. And, it's more turmoil and mayhem. And then they lose to the Lakers. And, but then they reel off a nice fat winning streak. And now they've won 11 of their last 15 games. And we are on a high. And here we go. And then, oh, my God, the trade talk and De'Aaron Fox and Shams Charania and all that stuff. And it's like, dude, like back in the 90s and late 80s, heavy
back
metal.
To the 90s.
That's right. And they'd be like banging their heads like headbangers ball, ding, 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 ding. Well, we're kind of involuntarily headbangers as Kings fans right now, but it's whiplash, just going back and forth and back and forth, and I don't like it. I just why can't we be like the Thunder or the Rockets or the Celtics or the Cavs? I mean, screw the Celtics. How about these smaller market teams? Memphis, Oklahoma City, Cleveland. Why can't we have nice things? Why does God hate Sacramento? Jason Ross.
It's a combination of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just so flipping tired of it, dude. I'm just so tired of the dysfunction. And I got to be honest with you, dude. I'm really bothered by the stuff I was saying about the Cowboys and Jerry Jones yesterday.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
correlation.
It's in my head. It's in my head, and it won't go away because I'm thinking, I'm sitting there bitching at Cowboy fans now. It's 100% their fault because this constantly happens, and Jerry Jones doesn't know what he's doing, and blah blah blah. Like I have this little voice in my head, my better angels, I guess, that are saying, "Dude, are you doing the same thing? Is this what's happening here? Are you just happy with the one playoff year and didn't even win the series, and then last year in New Orleans, and we good with that?" I don't know.
You know, I have one other angle to this or question for you, I guess, before we break. If there is a thought that, well, I guess it was said that De'Aaron would be willing to sign with Sacramento or San Antonio. That was kind of that's been thrown out there, right?
Yes.
If the Kings kind of pursued a trade deadline move to keep De'Aaron but add to this team, do you think there's anything that could be done on the deadline where that's enough for De'Aaron, or is it, regardless of player, is it going to be about results? So I guess my question is, there could be a big name that came in, you go, wow, okay, this is what they look like they want to do. Or is it, hey, they did like 3 moves on the edges, but in the end they go, man, actually this team vaulted up and became a 4 seed or a 3 seed. Does it matter on the player, or is it more about results?
You ever deal with, I don't know what
combination of both.
Yeah, I don't know what the liquid is, if it's like oil or whatever. Do you ever blow out those candles for your birthday, and they're those crank candles where they keep coming back to lit up, right? I feel like it would kind of be like that. Like, there's a fire burning right now, and maybe if they grabbed an impact player, that's like blowing out those candles. But if the results didn't follow, I think those candles light back up this summer.
Next misstep, boom, candle lights up again.
It's not that hard, Jason. Draft good players, trade for good players, develop the players, be stable, win championships.
Well, now that you put it that way.
See?
Yeah.
Can't we do that?
Right.
Maybe we'll ask Alan.
Let's do it.
Yeah, he's going to join us for a little crosstalk, and I'm interested to what he's going to say. It's almost like he's a workout guy. This is almost like pregame calisthenics for him, because he's got 4 hours of a lot of stuff going on. So we will take a quick break. We'll come back with Alan Styles crosstalk, celebrity birthdays next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Now to Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave coming to you from my good friends at American Energy. Look, it's already cold outside. It's only going to get colder. American Energy wants to help you stay warm and make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of the $49 tune-up inspection. Normally $119, $49 right now, and that includes a full safety and duct inspection. And check it out. If your system's over 10 years old, and I'll bet it is, the tune-up, it's free. It's free from a company that's been in business since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ Better Business Bureau. Check their Yelp, check their Google reviews. Don't take my word for it. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. If you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Check them out at theaeway.com and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. Right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company in affiliates, not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
How about you try something new this year? A resolution to enjoy what you drive. And the only way to guarantee that is at Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. And it's not just because they're centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course or their huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. It's because their general manager, Chuck Dean, and his team, they really take the time to get to know you and your goals. To them, it's not just about a car sale. It's about building generational relationships with someone you can trust. That's why people come from all over, Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, it's where a handshake still means something.
On Wednesday, March 5th, Sacramento is where the best wrestle as All Elite Wrestling presents Dynamite and Collision, two of professional wrestling's biggest shows all in one night. Be there live as AEW returns to Sacramento for the first time in 2 years for the final 2 shows before AEW Revolution.
Let's get down to business.
AEW Dynamite and Collision from Sacramento Memorial Auditorium. Wednesday, March 5th. Tickets on sale this Friday starting at $20 at AEWTIX.com.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Hey, Jason. I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
Yeah.
Andrew Zimmel wants me to come on his radio show in Austin, Texas today to talk De'Aaron Fox. He sends me the following instant message. Hey, Carmichael, I host a sports talk show, blah, 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 Austin, Texas. Would you be free to talk De'Aaron Fox? You know, I'm going to pass, but Alan, what do you think? You got a show to do, maybe a little crosstalk with Andrew?
Who's Andrew now?
Andrew hosts a show in Austin, Texas about sports.
Okay.
He wanted Dave to talk, but Dave's going to pass. Do you want to talk to
What's his following?
Give me some numbers.
Yeah.
Wow.
You get out of bed for anybody.
138,000 followers.
Oh, I'm listening.
Oh, intrigued.
Well, I'm just kidding. It's 1,400 followers you follow.
Oh.
Maybe it'll be a house party.
Yeah. Dave, did you hear me singing?
I did not. No. What were you singing?
Well, because, you know, KNCI is playing in the the main room. So little Sam Hunt was on house party. So I made a remix. We'll have a house party. Well, that wasn't the remix part, but the first verse where he says, "You're in your house." Then I said, "Stepping on a mouse."
Pretty good, huh?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
So
just how I'm coping with everything. I don't know who's mad at who, Dave. I don't know who leaked what. Sources, horses, lions, tigers, and bears. I don't know what's going on, brother.
Well, I can give it to you in one sentence. The Sacramento Kings franchise dysfunctioned their way into De'Aaron Fox wanting to go somewhere else through inaction and other things that really pissed him off for absolutely very good reasons.
Okay.
There's your story.
Okay.
From the media thing last year to not having anybody speak up at Mike Brown's firing and De'Aaron Fox being accused by the public and some media of having a hand in it, and nobody stood in front and did that, so he had to leak the picture of him having the dinner with Mike Brown, to him repeatedly asking the front office to make moves because they need to have a better roster, and he was going to hold off and not commit to the team until they did something, to folks within the organization telling players that trades are imminent, like John Collins. Hey, do you remember when I tweeted about the John Collins stocks are heating up? last week? Yeah, they were. So much that there were actually some players that were informed that John Collins to the Kings was imminent. Players. And then it didn't happen. This is you can go whichever direction you want to go, but I am firmly in the camp of we need to call out the dysfunction for what it is. And if it barks like a dog and quacks like a sheep, then the horse will come to the barn.
So basically, as how you understand this is, at this point in time, the Kings, quote unquote, they tried throughout the last couple trade deadlines and now this one, and it wasn't working out. So they say, okay, you know what? We're actually just going to go to De'Aaron about this and look at that side of things. And then that is what yesterday was, and everything gets out. And that's where everything gets squirrely for me, when it becomes, well, who put what out to Shams and who said what to who. And I don't know how much any of that actually matters. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he wanted the team to improve. And when you say they tried the last couple trade deadlines, I mean, do or do not, that Yoda guy said, there is no try. And their big get was DeMar DeRozan, and Fox was active in recruiting him. You're actively recruiting a guy onto your team that you're already planning on leaving. I don't buy that. This is just, look, dude, you put this together with the way Brown was handled, with the way Mike Malone was handled, with the way DeMarcus Cousins' trade was handled. Like, why are we having such a hard time landing on the fact that it's the franchise, not the player? Mm-hmm. Is that just a fan thing? Is that just because we love our team and we'll blame other people?
I don't know. Everyone's timeline is different, but I see plenty blame going at the front office, more so than De'Aaron, to be completely honest with you. Right. That's just my timeline, though.
Yeah. Are you going to talk about it today, by the way?
Maybe a little.
Okay.
Yes, we have Evan Sidery coming on at 12.
Do you
He's
really?
going to break down, yes, what's
All
going
right.
on there. And yeah, we're really just breaking down a timeline of kind of what you said, Dave, where everything went wrong, the updates, Rasay, and Kyle had a good note. Rasay's tweets, I'm assuming she's back east with them, whether she is or not. Yeah, firing off tweets at about 2 a.m. East Coast time. So we'll break down that in case anybody missed it, and just give the floor to everyone. You know, we're becoming, the Allen Style Show, becoming a very call heavy show, and I think every show right now is a really call heavy show. So we'll have our usual suspects and anybody new that wants to be a part of the conversation and just get a pulse on what everybody's feeling about De'Aaron Fox and this whole situation.
I don't think I've ever needed a celebrity birthdays more than right now. Celebrity birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Crumble Cookies, yum, yum, yum. We'll never trade you. Screw it. Jason, who's older?
You get a birthday. I get a birthday. Everybody gets a birthday. Happy birthday, Oprah Winfrey.
Ooh. Oprah is
listening to a very interesting podcast about her.
All right, good story. Oprah is 77.
That was an Allen story. I'll be honest with you.
Not as great as you would think.
Oh. 77.
Oh, come on.
No, come on.
75.
Man, I wish I would have remembered when they said when her birthday was. She is 73.
Chris is close to 71.
Sorry.
We got to do this, Dave. I think you are not allowed in because you know the answer, but happy birthday to the great Jerry Reynolds.
Hey.
Oh, Jerry.
Sacramento's grandpa.
Yeah. Everybody's favorite.
He's either 79 or 81.
Which one?
79.
76.
Alan's closer. 81.
Was he actually?
Yeah. Happy birthday to Tom Selleck, Magnum PI.
Magnum.
Mr. Baseball.
Tom Selleck is 82.
Tom Selleck is 81.
75.
Alan's closest, 80 for Tom Selleck. Happy birthday to Mark Gasol.
Now that guy. He's got a brother. Here's a guy with a brother.
Mark is 42.
Did he retire yet?
Yeah, I don't know. Officially?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Get him in.
Yeah.
42?
Bench
Come on.
depth. He's a big.
Yeah, he played until he was about 42. He's 44.
43.
Dave is closest. He is 40. Happy birthday to Bills Hall of Fame receiver Andre Reed.
Andre Reed is 58.
Oh, come on. 55.
56.
Dave's closest, 61. Happy birthday to former Kings head coach Eddie Jordan.
Ooh, God.
EJ.
64?
61.
63.
Dave's closest, 70.
Whoa.
And last one, Heather Graham.
Ah.
She's been in lately, but the Hangover I know for sure.
Anger management.
She's 52.
Come on. 50 on the nose.
51.
Dave's closest, 55.
Oh, man, just
really
just lowballing everything.
Spanked your asses. Always love it when we have new people in. Shout out to Robert Gray. Celebrity birthdays. What is this crap? Are you aware of the news? Yeah, we talked about it for 3 hours and 55 minutes, and it's about to continue next, Bob. Stay tuned. For everybody else, thank you so much. Love you. Love your show. Thanks for joining us. Come on back tomorrow, hopefully for less drama. For Katie Christensen, for Coach Jim Les, for Chris Verlaud, Alan Stiles, Jason Ross. Light the beam. Maybe the last one we light with De'Aaron Fox. I don't know. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.